This is Drink Talk, where we try to solve the world's problems one drink at a time. Every other week in this podcast, we talk about the topics of today and tomorrow while highlighting and enjoying beer, spirits, and wine from around the world and also crafted locally. Join us. We are your hosts, Brian and Britt.
Cheers. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I know you all heard my phone going off in the background. Sorry, I forgot to mute that.
Welcome to Drink Talk. This is our Season 3 recap. We
Holla.
End of a season. Hey, Johnny B. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. With us on the program is the winner of Season 3, the only guest that we had on multiple episodes.
Winner, chicken, no dinner.
I'm honored.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, Mike.
Free beer.
As the opener was going on, I was looking at the video feed, and I was like, so it's me and Britt and Grizzly Adams. That is a majestic beard you're growing there, man.
You like it?
It's looking good on you.
It's coming along.
Yeah. You look very woodsy. Very woodsy.
It goes well with the knit hat.
It does. You do look, you wear it well.
Yeah, right? There you
go. Yep. Perfect. Right over the
right
headphones.
over the
Yeah, hold the headphones on. Yeah, perfect.
Old man Christmas. Shovel your driveway.
Yeah, so we're going to be, if you've never joined us for one of the recaps, basically we are going to go through every single episode that we did in Season 3, which actually this season we ended up doing fewer just because we had so much things going on in our lives.
When we first started the show, we were doing every single Sunday, and it got a little relentless. It was just like... come Wednesday when it would upload onto iTunes and Google Play and Spotify and all that, we'd be like, what are we doing on Sunday?
What's the next one?
Gosh.
Yeah.
But this year we decided to just kind of scale it back, and we did like 2 a month is kind of where we roughly some months only had one because we had like holidays or trips going on.
We didn't even have anything in January because I think we did the season recap and then we just had so much going on in January that we started the season really in February.
Exactly.
So.
I can't believe it's been a year already. I mean, 2019 just went like...
Oh, yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up on how quickly it went, but we personally, professionally, we had a lot of stuff going on in our lives. So
Yes.
And speaking of the year going by fast... Happy New Year. We are now in first week of
Happy New Year
2020. This is 2020.
It's going great, guys.
2020. So far, World War III is upon us. So
yeah, I was going to say, that was a joke.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. We're not really going to get into the specifics of that, but I'm sure that...
I wish we could have done this before the new year, but unfortunately I was out of town for the last week, but now I'm back in town, so hey.
Well, and we also had a lot of stuff going on over the holidays. So,
yes, we did. We did.
Yep. So, any of you guys watch the ball drop in New York?
We were at a New Year's Eve party, and we were having such a good time that we kind of all missed it, which I guess is not a bad thing. We were having a great time, so we kind of just turned around. And we were like, "Oh, look at that! It's 2020. Whoops, missed it."
I think we ended up going to bed a little early that night. But New Year's Eve has always been fun, but it's never been like a tradition. Like, oh, we're gonna have this big blowout party. It's never, we just kind of hang out with some friends and order a ton of sushi, drink some scotch, and
I'll tell you about my New Year's Eve story. But first, we've got to take a drink.
First, okay. So this drink actually comes to us. A friend of mine brought this to me, and one of his friends has a meadery up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And
a meadery, not as in meat, as in
mead, M-E-A-D.
Yeah, mead.
Yes,
meadery,
mead, as in honey wine.
Because I would love to own a meadery because that sounds great and yummy.
So we're gonna sample some of this. It is chilled. He told me to drink it chilled, and the name of the is Panacea. We got the bottle right there, Panacea Meadery, up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So it's like a legit bottle. This I thought it was homemade at first, but I think he has a legit meadery there, which is pretty cool.
Right on.
I don't know that we have any here in Omaha or in Nebraska. I'm sure there are people that make it, but I don't know if we actually have an actual meadery.
So I've got some bottles of mead at home. I've had mead plenty of times. I enjoy it very much. My interesting mead story is that my wife and I had a bottle of mead on every table at our wedding, and it was very, very popular. So I've got a lot of guy friends that are, I'm a beer guy or I'm an IPA guy or whatever, and not really into wines, but they would drink this mead, and it's so sweet made from honey that they, all of them liked it and commented on it. So
Nice.
Nice.
Is there a reason?
With that said,
oh, yeah,
let's
cheers
on that.
first. Sample it and then get into some more stories. Cheers. Oh, there we go. That is sweet.
Very
almost
sweet.
like dessert wine.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Very honey. Yeah, you
Yep.
definitely taste the honey.
You get the honey right on the lips,
Feels
right
good,
in the
though.
aroma. Oh yeah.
This
It's
is
not
like
over. It's not like a kick you in the teeth sweet though. It's not
No.
like a I've had some stuff that's almost like aspartame because it's like the sweetness went up to 11. This is not. This is sweet, but it's not. I'm not one of those people that likes things overly sweet, and this is right in that zone of.
it's definitely a very sweet wine
It is
as far
it
as
is.
wines go.
a sweet wine. Brian, you got some background.
If you're if you're like a Gewürztraminer or a dessert wine, you would enjoy this. I enjoy it.
What was that? A Gewürztraminer?
Gewürztraminer, it's a dessert
Thought you
wine.
sneezed there for a second.
Achoo.
Gewürztraminer.
Bless you.
Yeah, excuse me. All right, it's rolling.
Cool.
No, the clarity on this is really good. It's kind of a yellowish, not even like very golden, like a light golden. I dig it. I really
Yeah.
dig it.
Getting back to stories. My New Year's Eve, I was out in San Diego, and I was out there with a group of people who were transitioning a hotel for AV and all that stuff. Anyway, I was kind of by myself for New Year's Eve, so I was like, I'll just grab a Uber and I'll go down to a place that has a bunch of beer on tap, and they had this a draft house, I think is what it was called, and they had 100 taps. I'm like, sweet, that sounds great. I'll just do that. Anyway, I went down there, had a corner spot on the bar, was talking to a bunch of people, handing out cards left and right. I was there until just a little after midnight, hooray, and then called my Uber, got to the hotel, was walking back to my room, and I'm like, where is my cell phone?
Oops.
So my cell phone was in the Uber.
Oh.
So I got into the room, got my laptop out, figured out last ride, and then it was like, hey, just put your phone number in and it'll call you. And I'm like, I can't because so I went up to the front desk and they were like, oh, here's the number. I'm like, okay, if I put this number in, is that phone right there going to ring? And he didn't comprehend that. I'm like, there's got to be a switchboard somewhere. It's not going to work. So needless to say, finally they were just like, here's my cell phone number. I'm like, yes. Type cell phone number in, cell phone number immediately rings. Like as soon as I hit enter, I'm like, and it's Uber's computer system saying press 1 to be connected with the cab driver. I'm like, sweet, boop, and it rings his phone, got his voicemail. I'm like, man, left the message, I'm here, Torrey Pines, room number, and all that stuff. No call. He did not call until 8 a.m. the next day. Or I guess it would have been that day because, but anyway, full 8 hours for sure. But it rang next to my bed. I was like, oh, and it was the cab driver. I'm like, oh, what? Hey, you do have my phone? And he's like, I do. I have your phone. And I was like, this is such a good thing. Thank you so much. Where can I meet you? And he's like, well, I'm in Mexico right now. I'm like, wait a minute, my phone's in Mexico? What's going on here? And then he's like, well, I'll be crossing the border around 5 o'clock. And I was like, 5 p.m.? Okay. I got my phone back at 8 p.m. Wow. Needless to say, it took him a while to get across the border. But apparently my phone had a better time than me on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
Went to Tijuana, Mexico. That's fun.
We one of the listeners, our sister, is saying that there's some echoing. I don't know. I don't hear it in my ears, but if anybody's hearing any echoing, let us know on the podcast. Appreciate that. Yeah. What do you want? Should we start just getting into some of the numbers for season 3? I think the only change really that we had were the chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Because I mean, we were already in this spot.
Were we?
Yeah, for season 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that the only thing that
Yeah, you
we
might be
changed-
right.
I think season 2 we changed quite a bit, but season 3 I think.
I mean, we
had
got
new
more
chairs.
artwork and stuff on the walls.
I was going to say,
TV.
I think the set got dressed up a little bit.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
added curtains and
We got
TV
the
and-
flag.
Yeah,
But yeah, set got dressed up a bit and
Yeah.
new chairs.
yeah.
But what we're looking forward to is Hopefully this season we'll spend some money on new lighting because this is just a pool table light above us.
Yeah, we're gonna make us beautiful next season.
Right? It's very harsh light on the camera.
Get a makeup department.
It takes a team of professionals.
It does. It does. I have like you say, I have a face for radio.
Yeah.
Can we get craft services instead of makeup? That would be great.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Eric wants to know where our stockings are. Not hanging right now.
I put all of my Christmas stuff away already.
Oh.
So I knew we were going to have the big storm coming in, and I was going to be out of town. So literally, I put everything away December 27th. I was like,
Done.
Put it in the box. See you later.
Yep.
I intentionally left everything up. I had a Christmas party at my house last night, honestly. So if I'm going to have a Christmas party, I left all the Christmas gear up.
Yeah.
Smart.
I just didn't know how big of a storm it would be, and if the roofs would be icy, or what was going to happen. So I was just like, well, it's a beautiful day today. So bye.
I think it's okay to leave it up after January 1st, since some people will put it up before Thanksgiving. So we already talked about
what
that.
I'd like to say is, come February 14th, Valentine's Day, if you still got your stuff up, you're slacking.
I've got a friend that was over last night, actually, that is a Puerto Rican guy, and he said that in Puerto Rico they celebrate Three Kings Day on January 6th, and all your Christmas decorations and everything stays up through January 6th at least. Yeah, to celebrate Three Kings Day.
I'm not dissing the people that still have their lights up.
I didn't know Three Kings Day was a thing until
the power company wants more revenue, so
I guess, yeah.
But everything's switching to LED, so.
Yeah, true. Let's do some of the numbers on season 3 for the recap here. I did a little research on all the episodes. So we did 18 episodes total in season 3, which is
it's way far down than what we used to be doing.
Not half, but pretty close from season 2.
Yeah, what do we have, like 35, 36 or something?
34 in season 2, but that was because we were doing every week for about half the season, and then we switched to every other week. So season 3,
I just can't fathom in my mind that we were doing it every week.
I know, it's crazy. But for 18 episodes, we had 21 guests.
Nice.
During the 18 episodes.
Perfect.
And Mike was on 3 of those episodes. So per capita, that's quite a bit,
Yeah.
I don't know the percentage of that. I'm not going to do math.
It's a good amount of airtime for me.
It was.
I appreciate it, the invites, guys.
Well, yeah, and this makes 4.
Yeah.
So
here I am.
Yeah, and here
Bingo.
But yeah, we also had location ones. We were on location 5 of the 18 episodes, which is down from 8 in season 2, but we also did almost half of the episodes. So per capita, 5 episodes out of 18. That's pretty impressive.
I was at least one of them.
Hero 88, the sake.
Hero, the sake one.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? That added so much value to my life.
It did.
When I go get sushi now, I order sake, and I know what I'm ordering and why I'm ordering it.
Yeah, we'll get into each one of the episodes individually. So we'll talk about that because I've got some things very similar to that on that. We had 44 different types of beers that I cataloged.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there were a couple of them that were thrown in last minute that I didn't catalog, but yeah, we had 44 different kinds of beers. Of those, we had 2 of the 5-liter ones. We had a Hop Slam, which you were on there for that one, for the Media Slam, Hop Slam.
Yep.
And then we also had the Christmas Ale that you and I did for the Christmas one.
And for those of you that actually watched, 'Tis the Season was the episode we did before this episode, like mid-December. We did end up finishing that.
Have a Holly Jolly Christmas.
Holly Jolly Christmas, that's right.
what it is.
We ended up finishing it off camera after the show.
We
did finish it.
Did some damage. And we also had a not a full, but a 5-gallon keg that was left over.
I totally forgot about that.
Cross-string, we even brought in a tap, the kegerator, an industrial kegerator, stainless steel industrial kegerator.
Yeah, the hotel let me borrow. It was
that
great.
was pretty cool.
Borrow. I did. I borrowed it.
We also did 23 different spirits. We had 5 different types of whiskey. We had 8 different types of sake, 5 different types of vodka, 3 different types of vermouth, which isn't really a spirit, it's a wine, as we found out, and 2 different types of port. So that's
port.
That's a fair amount of
alcohol.
Yes, that we had in those 18 episodes. So
well, we like to enlighten our listeners and let them know how things taste and if they're good or not. Frankly, I think on this show that we've had going for 3 years, there's really only been maybe 4 or 5 things I went, yeah. All the rest of them, I'm pretty,
I would say, and
well
probably
versed.
all of them were in season 1. That were
Could have been.
There might have been one in season 2 that I was like, eh. But yeah, by and large, I think we're good BS artists. And
Well, honestly, you get good stuff on the show. I mean, it's not like nobody's going to show up here with something that is
we're not drinking
good.
Bush Light.
Yeah.
And,
well, and even some of the last 2 episodes of season 3, which we'll get into here, the impromptu and the Holly Jolly. I mean, there was really not much show prep, but it was stuff that was seasonal and stuff we wanted to get off our chest, and so
I saw that Natty Ice, natural something like that. They're coming out with all these different flavored seltzer beers,
Oh,
seltzer waters, I guess, with alcohol in them.
that's because it was a White Claw kind of was the big blow up in the market, and then
Everybody's
what's
trying to
the-
copycat them.
no, I'm trying to think of what the other one,
gosh dang it, what is? It's not-
bubbly or something.
Well, that's just seltzer. I think that's just carbonated water.
Is it?
Bubbly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's got one that's called Aloha Beaches. Like,
That's nice.
has it got coconut in it?
Nice. Well, let's just kick off. Actually, I'm done with the mead. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back to that because that's actually fantastic, and you're supposed to drink it chilled. So I'm gonna put it back in the cooler, in the cooler, and then we're gonna break out the beers for the episode.
Well, we've got this beer already, so why don't we just do this?
Yeah, that's Knee Deep.
Yeah.
we got these from Casual Pint.
Big shout out to one of our main big sponsors, Casual Pint. Roughly like 80th and Pacific.
87th and Pacific.
It would be up that way. 87th and Pacific. You can't miss it. It's in the middle of the
Shopping center.
shopping center, but they are awesome. 31 taps, and tons of packaged.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So
When you walk in, you got the coolers. It's like at this grocery feel because the guy who started it was in grocery first. So you get all these, and it's beer that you wouldn't find anywhere else. I mean, Hy-Vee's
Right.
got a great selection, but there's beers in here that you're not there off the wall, and that's kind of what I was looking for today. But we'll get into that maybe in season 4. We'll do some of the off the wall stuff that we never heard
I
of.
totally am down for that. And shout out to Alex that works there. He does some major posting on some of the groups, like Nebraska Brew Crew and things of that nature, where if you lived here in Nebraska, you'd be part of these groups because you'd want to find out where beer is at. And he's always posting about new arrivals and all that sort of jazz, so he kind of keeps me informed of what's going on. So get on to that sort of stuff if you want to know about Nebraska beers.
Nice. And we have a comment here that Leinenkugel is also coming out with a seltzer beer.
Leinenkugels.
Yeah.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's 0 calories. I think that's probably what's making it take off.
Is it? Wait.
0 calories, and it's like 6% sometimes. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
how's
not.
that
It's not grain alcohol because the grain's going to add the calories.
Oh.
So, I'm not sure what kind of alcohol they're
That's tricky.
putting in there. Yeah,
Huh.
probably some fake sugars and
Who knew?
yeah. Or I shouldn't say 0. I know it's 100 or less. So,
Okay. All right.
yeah. So it's kind of like a light beer.
You can drink it and not get fat.
Well, challenge
Yeah.
accepted. All right. Well, this is Knee Deep. This is the Hua Haze.
Hua Haze.
by Knee Deep.
Cheers, fellas. This looks great.
Ooh, this is a very hazy citrus. That citrus is right up front there.
Citra hop
Hazy.
for sure.
Yep. Very, very good. Good aroma, crisp.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's solid.
Very good. Yeah. But it doesn't have that. Sometimes the hop, what's the like on your tongue tends to be a little stick to the tongue a little more. This does not do that.
Would milky be a good word for that?
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
Milky.
that's a good one. Mike, however, I like the story that you did on yours.
Oh. So I'm not having the knee deep right now. I brought my own 6-pack.
Peel or the orange.
No
slice.
fruit in my beers, man. None for me.
That's
All
all right.
All right. Well, let's get into the episodes.
Yeah, let's just start from one and work our way down.
Episode 1 was technically episode 79 of our total podcast. And it was the Media Slam. It was our second one. So Media Slam number 2.
Yeah.
Back in February, the first week of February is when we did that. Mike was on, and also Sam, which was he actually ended up running the camera and the soundboard, and he's going to
Sam
come
was
back and
great.
then never came back.
It is what it is. He's a busy fella.
That's all right. But we also had the mini keg here of Hop Slam, and we do that. Hop Slam only comes out for 1 month a year from January to February, and we always do a Media Slam episode with it.
Well, and right about that time in February, the media was getting, Trump was saying stuff about the media and how it's news and all this sort of stuff. So it was kind of fitting to do it then, since there was just so much hoopla in the news anyway at that point in time. So it all just was worked out.
True. And if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, Britt and I are not a huge fan of big media.
Right.
Just
Well put.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
You got a private channel. I'll watch it. Let's do that.
Exactly. Next episode that we had, episode 80, was For the Love of ... And that was actually on location.
Yeah. That was
Inkwell. It was right after Valentine's Day, and it was kind of our Valentine's Day episode.
There was a gentleman on there, and I can't remember his name.
Tom.
That's it.
Yeah, he's a regular there at Inkwell, which is also in Countryside Village. It's on the south side of Countryside Village from Casual Pint, and it's a craft cocktail place.
Very good craft cocktails.
Yeah. Originally, when I heard the name Inkwell, I thought it was a tattoo parlor, but it's Inkwell is from authors.
Right next to Dennis and Dahlman's, the hair place there.
Yep, absolutely. And but yeah, he's got an old school manual typewriter. He's got pictures of. But and even they don't like to be called bartenders. What did I forget? Will called himself
baby maker. No, I'm just kidding.
There was
no, not that.
There was a much better term. Yeah, it was along those lines, like a cocktail
extraordinaire
craftsman or something along those lines. It was a lot better than just bartender, because they do it upright. They got a wicked knowledge. They are very, very smart. The guest on there, Will, who actually is my barber from time to time, but he worked part time there, and Tyler, who owns the place, and then Tom was the patron there, and we talked about love, all things love, love through the ages.
I just
different
remember
types of love.
We were on that, and it was towards the end, and we're like, Tom, we know you have a great story, so we'll have you go last, and so why don't Brian, why don't you go first? And Brian's like, and then Tom just started speaking. And Tom went first. I was like, okay, cool. All right, we'll just
Go for it, Tom.
Yep.
we'll just sit and wait and listen to this.
But then, halfway through the podcast, I think he dropped off for a while.
Yeah.
And then he spoke back up, and Tyler freaked out. He's like, "Oh, Tom's still here."
Tom's awake.
Yeah.
Back in business.
It was a lot of fun, for our Valentine's Day episode.
Well, and the reason why we did a Valentine's Day episode there was the last time that we were there at Inkwell, we did
Halloween.
Yeah, the meaning of Halloween or something like that. So For the Love
Fear.
of
We did the meaning
of fear. That's right. So it seemed fitting since we
that was our Hero 88, and Mike joined us for that one as well.
So great.
Yeah,
Charlie Yen.
Charlie
Yen.
Part of the
Charlie. He was the one to actually sought me out. I ran into him, I think, 3 times in 1 week, and I think it was the third time I ran into him. He's like, "I've been meaning to talk to you." I was like, "Well, we've talked." And gosh, what a knowledge base of information that man is.
And it was a breakout episode. I mean, normally we're doing beer or spirits, very rarely wine.
Right.
But sake, that's kind of in a category of its own. I mean, people call it rice wine, but it was. I had no knowledge level of sake other than the giant box at any Asian restaurant.
The hot sake.
I enjoyed that so much.
Me too.
Because I learned so much.
And I still use the knowledge that I had from that level.
Me too.
Yeah.
Every time I go and
I was like, GekiCon. I know that one. I know this level.
Same.
Yeah.
Same thing. My wife was thoroughly impressed when I was like, no, we want the GekiCon. She's like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And we want it chilled. We don't want it hot. We want it chilled.
Yep.
And then dessert sake. Who knew that was a thing?
Right. Yeah.
So very, very cool. I was very impressed
Thanks
with
to Charlie for that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think that was back-to-back episodes, even though they were probably 2 weeks apart, back-to-back episodes of On Location. So I just had the gear packed up, and I was like, well, I'm ready for the next one. Let's go.
We did back to back to back because actually the next episode after that, we went to Growler USA.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, it was like a month the gear stayed in, more than a month probably.
Yeah. And we ended up talking with Kim Kuvalak, who's co-owner of...
What was the name of the episode?
Growler USA, Nebraska Beer Bills.
Nebraska Beer Bills, that's right.
Yeah, because we talked about the legislative bills that were coming down the pipeline that were affecting the craft beer
Yeah,
industry
I mean,
here in Nebraska.
they were wanting to raise the taxes like 400% or something like that.
There's some things in there about growlers and, just...
Do we know how that panned out?
Obviously, it pittered out. I mean...
Yeah, it got shut down, but
Well,
it
good.
will probably come back.
Of course it will.
Yeah, every year it probably, But that was a neat episode. We also had Mars, who her and her husband own the place, and Alex, who's their son and kind of works there too, and Landon also, who's the general manager. They were all on there, and we had is a national chain. Mars and her husband owned that chain there, but they there's a lot of stuff that happened there. If you're a regular there, you kind of know what happened. Not going to get into that, but now it is independently owned by Mars and her husband, and they can do things that they couldn't before when they were under the Growler USA title, and that was a big to do. But yeah,
can and can't things that they had to abide by.
Right, that's out there off of about 165th and Maple, roughly, ish.
Getting back to the prior episode, the one we did the Saki. Forgot to mention that we were actually on location at Hero 88,
the West location.
And I was actually talking to a couple today, and they were like, "Oh, well, were you downtown, or you the one out 130 at 130th and Maple?" I was like, "No, I was one out west." And they're like, "They have one out west?" Mm-hmm. So
180th and Q.
180th and Q. It's way out there.
Yeah. It's right there in the Hy-Vee Plaza. And it's actually, don't you and your wife go out to that one quite a bit?
Yeah, it's our regular spot.
Yeah,
That's our regular Sunday night dinner spot when we're going to go out.
And if you're not big sake drinkers, they actually do have quite a big, nice wine selection as well. So.
And actually, it's amazing the differences between the two, because we go to the one on 132nd and Maple all the time, and the differences between the two are a lot. It's the same place. There's still some similarities, but it is pretty different.
And real good sushi.
Very good sushi.
We missed out this
year. The Husker roll.
Because normally for my birthday, we usually go to Hero 88 out on 132nd and Maple.
Get the boat.
Get the boat. But this year I went to Jams and out west, which was the old Upstream. Yeah,
which now also has the
Alice.
Yeah, Alice, which is down in the basement, the speakeasy down in the basement there.
Speakeasy there?
Yeah.
Well,
that was right after Christmas. And
actually, it was April. So
let me I guess let me restate that. It was right after snow.
Yeah, there we go.
And for those listening that don't live in Omaha, we get massive potholes here in Omaha, and it is a force to be reckoned with. In fact, there was a road, I believe it was 144th, and between Q and
132nd and Center was like a war zone.
Yep, 132nd. They're both. Yeah, you're both right. 132nd and Center.
Yeah.
144th and Q, south of 144th.
Like you needed
basically all of 168th Street, but 144th Street they straight up barricaded.
They did.
And closed.
Yeah.
It was undrivable.
Yep.
You needed like a Jeep with huge tires on it just to
you
go
need
down
a rock crawler to get through the street.
It's ridiculous. It's like how does that even happen? But it was very hot, and then it snowed, and then it thawed, and then it got cold again, and it was the constant up and down temperature, I guess.
And then the plow trucks.
Right, yeah. That's the reason we have such bad potholes here in Omaha is because of the fluctuation in temperature that we have here in Omaha. We look at January here. Today was 45 degrees in January? When does that happen?
It was 17 degrees this morning and 45 this afternoon.
Yeah, so you get that freezing, unfreeze, or refreezing, unfreeze, all that plays havoc on concrete and asphalt. So it doesn't matter. I don't blame the road crews one bit. I'm sure there's a way to strengthen those, but I don't know that it's cost effective.
I'm just glad we haven't had to deal with it yet.
Yeah. Well, we've had a little bit of snow, but not too much.
But not to create a bunch of potholes like that.
No.
168th Street is back to bad.
Really?
I can tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess. Yeah. I was out of town. Did you guys get a substantial enough snow that they had to plow the streets?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Well, the plows were out laying down salt and brine.
Yeah.
And doing it. They maybe it was like Not even.
Do they salt anymore? Isn't it just burn?
Yeah, when it snows one flake, people go like 20 miles under the speed limit, and you're just like, come on.
Yeah, one drop of rain does that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Driving's
Let's
hard.
go. Driving's hard.
And then to get away from that, the next episode we ended up doing uplifting news, which is kind of one of our mini series. We do an uplifting news every season, sometimes two.
Just kind of like found some random stories that were, just heroic. Mm-hmm. And it was like, why do you not see this in the normal news?
Yeah.
Why do I have to dig to find this joyous, nice
That's
news?
actually one of my favorite Alexa skills is
tell me something nice.
Tell me some good news.
Tell me some good
And
news.
it will. It'll tell you an uplifting news story.
Nice.
There you
And now people listening to this on their smart
Sorry.
devices.
Alexa, stop.
I think I told you guys the
Alexa, play Drink Talk.
I think I told you that story. I was over at a buddy of ours that we all know, and he wanted to listen to one of the episodes, and we were talking about AI. Well, we got into talking about smart devices, and we were listing them by name, and every time that one of the particular ones that we were listening to on that device, it was said, it would shut down and listen. It's like, I don't understand what you're saying. I was like, oh, yeah, that's funny that it's playing it and listening to itself at the same time.
Sure.
So, yeah.
It has to listen to the, volume down.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So, but yeah, we had a guest on there, that Sean, who actually he's moved out of the state. He's actually going to be he started Into the Pint Glass, which is kind of dissolved, but I think he's bringing it back up again, and he's going to start his own podcast. He's out of Des Moines.
Yeah.
He's been on the program. He's been with us since season 1. He comes on routinely. He's kind of been in the alcohol industry, down plastic, which is pretty cool. I
just remember when he first came on the show, the very first time.
Oh, that's a great story.
He called his friends. He's like, I'm going to this dude's house in the basement, and don't know these guys. And he was kind of a little
if you don't hear from
weirded
me,
out,
Yeah, here's the address.
This is the address. Yeah, this is where I'll be. After 5 minutes, he was like,
"Oh, we're fine.
That's fine." And then he got done with the show. He's like, "Man, that was great. When can I be back?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, that'll be good. Yeah. We can have you back for sure."
Yeah, Sean, if you're watching,
yeah,
or
always
listening,
welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, like Brett said, he has reached out to us. He's going to be doing his own podcast. So, and I think he's going to be in town here sometime. soon. So it'd be nice to.
So Sean, if when you are in town, go ahead and you've got our cell phone numbers and all that stuff, and you can text us and let us know that you're here and get you back on the show maybe or something.
Absolutely.
At least have a beer.
Yeah. And then after
it.
the how are we doing? You need
I'm gonna need a refill.
Okay. You want to stay with the same one? Because I might actually.
No.
I'm going to do some more of that mead in between. Do you want a new one?
I'll take a little mead. That was actually pretty decent, and I liked how it felt going down my throat.
Yeah.
It's medicinal.
It's honey, so it was definitely very good going down the throat.
For sure. And like I said, I'm not one of those that's likes things that are at sweet spot of sweet enough without being too sweet. But if you're a fan of honey and you're a fan of alcohol, try some mead.
Where did you get this?
So a friend of mine, he got it from one of his friends that has a meadery in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And just if you're curious, it is 8.5% ABV. And those that are not watching, it comes in a 750. It looks like a wine bottle with a screw top lid. So it's a fair size. And it's recommended that you drink it chilled. So
mead down when you're back in town. The next time I see you, that'd be great.
Next time you guys are at my house, I have leftover bottles of the mead from our wedding.
Oh, I wonder how long that lasts because it's
it's been laying on the cork, chilled in our wine cooler for
honey
for
is
10
one of those
years, 11 now.
Honey is one of those foods that doesn't really like true honey doesn't really go bad, but wine does. So I wonder if there's something with that.
Yeah,
that makes it last
honey
a little longer.
never goes bad ever.
Well, so the tie-in there to our wedding is
Brian, you want to hand me one of those water bottles? I'm gonna
on
the door
on my in-laws' ranch. They host beehives, So they don't do any beekeeping, but they have the hives resident on their ranch up in Montana, and then a beekeeper comes out to tend the bees. And so I think that some of his honey went to the meadery that made the wine.
Nice.
And so hence
About
we
as
got
local as you can get.
hence we got a deal. We got a deal on the mead.
Nice. Murmur's music. Hey, Murmur, good to see you. Yeah, this is our first go through with mead, so and we're super happy with it so far.
Yeah, first time on the show. Big shout out to Murmur's Music. He's buddy, you are awesome with the whenever we need information. He's usually kudos to you, man. This mead's on you.
Yeah.
So cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. I like the aroma too.
Yeah. It's
Kind of
smooth,
a
it's
sweet-
light, it's
yeah. You
refreshing.
get a little bit of that honey scent to it. It's nice. Superstition PB&J mead is awesome. Is that, I wonder, Aaron, is that here locally? Can you get that here locally? I'm assuming, since you live in the area.
PB&J? That sounds good.
PB&J
Right.
mead. Peanut butter.
Amazing. What's not looking good?
Oh, he's looking up the Superstition PB&J mead.
I'm on the superstitionmeadery.com website, and where to buy jumps right from Nevada to North Carolina. So
Like nothing in between.
well, if we're out and about.
Out and
maybe
about.
Out and about.
I believe you can order online, but
Perfect.
Amazon
all right.
ship?
Back to...
not sure.
Oh, they had it on tap of the pint. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So after uplifting news, we did another one of our mini segments. Every once in a while, we have these little mini.
Subpar.
No,
not subpar. Sub.
No, not at all. These are like our mini episodes within the whole podcast realm.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
So the next one was a few of our favorite things, and we've done some mini ones. We've done mixed drinks, and this one we did vodka drinks, and
Yeah.
we did
Well,
lonely.
the rum edition was pretty darn good
that
too.
was good,
though.
yeah. But this one
Was I there for that? Was that what's the guy's name?
Alziri?
Yeah, that guy.
Well, so that might have been the aged tequila. Was that the one you were on?
I'm not
Or was it
sure.
rum?
We were still over there. I'm
Yeah.
pointing over there to where your set used to be
Yes,
in season
one.
previous.
Yeah.
one.
Well, and part
Was
of
that
season 2.
California, the fire in the mud?
No, he wasn't on that one.
No. Okay.
I could go
No.
back and look.
But
I'm not gonna-
Alziri kept making. He brought like a whole plethora of bitters.
Oh, sure.
And his whole like drink making kit
Yeah.
that he brought over and was me.
But yeah, episode 85, a few of our favorite things, vodka drinks. We did Lonely Oak Distillery, and that's one of those that Britt and I in season 2 actually went to Lonely Oak Distillery
Yeah,
in
that was
Erling,
great.
Iowa. Super awesome.
We need to get
Pat-
back to
yeah,
them.
Pat Hoffman and his family own that on the farm. Like you literally turn off the paved road and go to the steel frame street.
That was a porch sitter right there. We
Yeah.
did the North 40 peach vodka with some lemonade.
I was gonna just
It's
say that.
amazing.
That sounds real good.
And that was a recommendation. So I saw Pat. He was he goes to the farmers market at Aksarben Village a lot and showcases his stuff. And the first time I saw him there, he had this peach vodka and he poured it in some lemonade. He's like, "This is the way to drink it." And ever since then, I'm like, "Yep, that is the only way I'm drinking that. That is amazing." By itself, it's delicious, but
Yeah.
you put it in some lemonade. Ooh, yeah. We also paired it, or not paired. We also put it against the Kirkland vodka to see,
Yeah.
because they actually, not many people craft vodka for obvious reasons, because you can get it way cheaper than you can craft it yourself. They craft their own vodka, and it's noticeable.
Oh yeah, no. So their vodka, just a regular plain old vodka,
Which is North 40 is the name
it's
of it.
North 40. It's got a hint of like corn flavor to it because I mean it's what they use to make the vodka is corn, and
Well,
me being
yeah.
a grass-fed corn-loving boy from Nebraska, is real good.
Well, and it's the only vodka I've ever had that I said was flavorful.
Yeah,
You don't really get that much. Most vodkas,
it tastes like gasoline.
or you put it in a mixed drink and there's not much flavor to
It
it.
disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has some flavor to it.
Huh.
It's really, really good. But we didn't really have a topic other than the drinks, and we just kind of went
we
on,
just roll
had
with
some
it.
fun stories.
That's what we do, Brandon. We just
Yeah.
roll with it.
Yep. Next one. We did diversity, vacations, and summertime. This was June.
Be over the summertime.
And it was right after you had gone to a convention, and You almost got a signed bottle of Templeton Rye whiskey.
I know. I was like this close. Like,
Yeah.
I should have gotten that.
So we did the 4 and the 6 year on there, and talked about the differences in there. This is episode 86.
You know what? That was the lost episode, Brian. Remember?
You're jumping ahead.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah, you're
cool.
jumping ahead.
We'll get there when we get there, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, not a lot. I mean, it was a fun one. We just kind of talked about vacation time. It was the summer, getting geared up for that, and all that. So
Going on vacations.
yeah. Then the next one, we actually went on location to Vis Major. That was episode 87.
I was actually just talking about that today with an individual at the bar there at Casual Pint, and he asked me about Vis Major, and he's like, "Well, what are your thoughts on that?" And I said, it's a phenomenal brewery. Their brewing system's a little bit small, and if you go downstairs, you'd know why, because they just don't have a whole lot of room. So, like, I think it's a 5-barrel system or something like that they're working with.
We did take a small tour after which was pretty cool. We ended up talking with Lindsay on that one. So one of the co-owners, her and her husband own that one.
But what I was saying, I guess, was I work downtown, and it's on my way home. I tried not to
40th and Center.
So I take
yeah, but I just want for people that didn't know where it was.
Yeah, I take Martha, and then it does that zigzag to Center, and it's about 38th or 40th. No, it's like 32nd. Yeah, it's that far down because that zigzag is 30th, and so it had to be like 2 blocks down from that, so it's like 32nd and Center. Yeah. But they're great. Kid friendly, got board games and cards and stuff you guys can play with.
Well, and when you walk in, they call it the Sanctuary, and they actually, when you walk in, all the decor is from a church. Like the sconces are like you walk into any typical Lutheran or Catholic church, and their chandeliers are from the church, the hanging sconces. The bar is actually a confessional, and they the behind the bar, I should say. The bar where you sit, where you're putting your elbows, those are actually, and it's kind of a party room, tap room. It's more open. Doesn't have as much stuff in there. They have a little miniature bar kind of back there. They do serve. I wouldn't say they serve food, but
they do.
It's more. It's
they've got great pizzas.
I've been to several events there, and they'll set up tables and set up a buffet style, and
they got food there.
Serve food.
I didn't think it was like a huge expanded menu, but I knew they had.
But what they've got is good.
Yeah.
They host a nice event if it's something you're looking to do.
Gourmet popcorn. They do have that also there. So I would say the niche that they hit, because they are a small craft brewery, the niche that they hit, they approach all of their beers with a food Bible, and how they come up with new beers is they say what pairs with what. And one of the more interesting ones that we had was the 7 Deadly Seeds. And it was like a pomegranate sour milk stout or milk IPA. And you don't think that all those work together.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, and you taste everything, and it's amazing, and it all blends and works together. There's some fruity notes to it. The milk kind of calmed it down, and the IPA,
that's wild.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I really
somebody was bold.
Yes.
In deciding to mix that drink.
I'll take my next drink.
Oh, okay. What do you want for your next one?
Let's do something local like Cross Train.
Oh. Well, I'm doing that. Why don't you talk about this?
These mugs. We got Erica, our sister, decided to pick up some mugs for us. And those who have watched Game of Thrones would know exactly what this is all about. And you really can't see it via camera, but it says, I drink and I know things.
Kind of embarrassed to say, but the most I've ever seen of Game of Thrones is actually the bad lip reading. the medieval wonder, what is it, medieval something. They're basically creating a theme park, but it was all Game of Thrones, and they did the bad lip reading too. It's actually a really funny episode.
Speaking of bad lip reading, they just did come out with a new bad lip reading for Star Wars.
I'm not
not a fan of it.
Well,
it's not that funny.
I saw it.
Not as funny as
Seagulls.
Seagulls, yeah.
Not as funny. Agreed.
And they actually referenced that song.
They did
a lot.
Well, that's because it's hilarious, and it probably made them the most money out of all of it. You know, they get money per hit view, whatever it is. So
it almost sounds like one of those 7-Eleven songs. 7 lines repeated 11 times.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of repeating in that.
Yes, a lot of repeating.
Yep.
So yeah, come on. What is it? Funny or Die?
Bad lip reading.
Bad lip reading. That's what it is. Step up your game.
I think they do some.
They do some great stuff. They're doing 100 different things 100 different ways all of the time. So, sometimes it's a hit and a miss.
Every once in a while, you have a bad episode.
Every once in a while.
We're familiar with that.
Not us. I don't know what you're talking about. 100% on all these shows.
Well, we were talking about that before we started recording. That of the last 3 seasons, there's only probably been a handful of episodes where we were like, meh, it was okay. We'll put it out there, but it was just okay. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm batting 1,000 over here.
Pure gold. I put my pants on like you, just one leg at a time. The difference is when I have my pants on, I spit out gold records.
Amen.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, that was Christopher Walken. That was the cowbell from Saturday Night Live. I need more cowbell.
I got a fever.
And the only cure is more cowbell. All right.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
What a great human being.
Have you ever seen a little side tangent? Have you ever seen the Fatboy Slim Weapon of Choice is the name of the song?
It is.
I did recently get to meet, noting Christopher Walken, I did get to recently meet Frank Abagnale.
Why do I know that name?
Catch Me If You Can guy.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
Nice.
He was at one of my cybersecurity conferences.
Not Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, the real guy. So, very interesting man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you have a chat with him? Or
I did.
Like, was it like a 5-minute? Or
he gave a talk at a conference I was at, but it was a small conference. There was probably only 50 people there. So.
Oh, nice. So
we all kind of got to
had some face-to-face time with him.
Chat with him. Yeah, it was interesting.
Nice. All right, Britt. Now we're into your lost episode. So episode 88.
So,
which would have been cool if we were at Hero 88 for episode 88.
Well, for 88, we actually did that prior to all these other ones we talked about, and it was actually filmed right around
July.
4th of July.
Yeah.
Right around that time, because we talked about 4th of July, we talked about vacations, we talked about all this other sort of stuff. That's why I was very confused. I was like, shouldn't that be the one?
Yeah, no, we
had Alex and George on, and George I work with, and Alex is up there at the Pint. 2 great individuals that provide a lot of information on that. And it was great. At the end, camera off, George rapping.
Oh, the freestyle.
The freestyle.
That was super cool. He does a lot
He's
of
a
local
Christian
stuff.
rapper.
Yeah, here locally. And
yeah. Kings Radio.
One of our 2 guests that we had that is a music artist.
Yeah.
Locally here.
So Alex is too.
Oh,
he's a drummer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I totally forget. Yeah. He was with the Jazz Holes, and then no, wasn't. I thought he was with the Jazz Holes.
No, that's Matt Arbeiter.
What did I?
Sorry,
why was I thinking that?
But anyway. Alex, you're still a great drummer.
No matter who you played for. Well, actually, yeah. So yeah, we had Alex and George both on that one. We had Fair Nectar. That was so we emptied the
collaboration beer with Casual Pint. And it was called something pint.
Casual?
No. Aaron, if you're still on, help me out with the name of that beer. Something pint. Anyway, this is like the red-headed stepchild of that beer, which kind of tastes a lot like it. It's just kind of a mixed blend of like, hey, we had some of this left over, and then we mixed it, and here you go. And it tastes a lot like the pint beer.
It's a web of lies.
Pint Project. Project Pint. Project Pint. That was the
name
of it.
It's all coming together.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Nailed it. So yeah, Cross Train and Casual Pint got together and made Project Pint. And it was fantastic. I probably got 4 or 5 growlers of that.
Nice. Oh yeah, and Aaron just popped up. Project Pint.
Boom, boom. Got it.
Yeah. Who was first? We have a delay here, Aaron, so I can't say who.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Climate change. I think that's
climate change. Well, yeah. I mean,
that's not real.
What was interesting was
I'm just kidding.
It's not really called. It's called weather modification now.
Yeah. And it's a thing.
Yeah.
What was interesting was George and Alex are both of the younger generation, and Britt and I'm not saying we're older generation, but we are older than they were.
Used to eat.
And their perception of climate change, like they thought we were causing the whole thing. And I'm like, well
no.
we're not helping it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I said, just pure mathematics, one volcanic eruption erases all the carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide that we release in the atmosphere for the entirety of the human race. That's one volcanic eruption.
Yeah.
So are we helping things? No, we are not helping things.
Right.
But we're
But
not
are
the
we-
worst thing.
Yeah, are we causing it? And then we even got into it. We're like, cow farts are even
Right.
worse than the pollution that we're causing. So, but that's also a product of. But
I think it's kind of weird that we actually still have a coal burning plant here in Omaha.
and we got rid of our nuclear plant.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was
Yeah, well, that was flooded, and then there was a
so
whole,
dumb that people build these nuclear power plants next to water. It's
You
like,
need it to cool the reactors, though.
I understand, but just put a pipe run a
Further.
pipe 10 miles
Further.
in, further away from water.
I think
Like
it's-
Fukushima, we got into that. It's like you built that right on the water.
Well, there's
that
got to
everyone,
be there's got to be something to that. Like in an emergency, like you can literally just flood the whole place. Like that's probably
perfect.
why they do
a
it.
nuclear flood. Perfect. Sounds great.
I meant no, right.
no, that's horrible.
Yeah. What I want to know is why we're not looking at thorium for
Right.
instead of-
Lifter. Yeah. No, I know. That's its own episode, Brian. Let's not.
we
right
did
now.
talk about that. We did for
did
alternative.
you?
Well,
That'll
not-
be
not-
a episode
yeah.
for season 4.
not by itself, but during our alternative energy episodes,
yeah.
we did talk about that.
Right.
So, for those of you that don't know, stay tuned. We'll get there. Next episode, 89. How did we miss that? So
that's on me.
that was
was on me.
Yeah. So basically, we were all on vacation in July.
Yeah,
and
we
this was
needed
our,
something to talk about. We needed to fill the void of I think we went 3 weeks without having an episode or something like that.
Well, and also we had some audio issues with George and Alex, and so
Yeah.
this was also our comeback off of vacation, but it was also trying to fix some of those audio issues that we had in that. We're not sure what happened with that, but
I don't know.
but we ended up
things
fixing
get touched and moved and stuff. But
Yeah.
now we've got it all figured out.
yeah, one of my favorite beers that we had on there was the Did We Just Become Friends by Hoof Hearted Ale.
Hoof-hearted,
Hoof Hearted Brewing.
nice, solid.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That would be my son's favorite thing to ask Alexa.
Hoof-hearted. They're still feuding in Hong Kong. Like that's been going on for months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Months. People
Yeah.
have been in this. I'm like, I can't imagine feuding for a week, let alone months.
Did you know that Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean
Right.
water?
Oh,
Yep.
right.
That's
Yeah.
years. And
Yeah.
that's here in the United States.
Why would anybody still live there?
Yep.
It's like, why don't you just move
Well,
and
that's-
abandon the town?
sometimes that's easier said than done. I mean, if your whole family lived there and
But you're every
generationally-
day or every week, you've got to go down and pick up your local water
They've
for you to
gotta-
bathe in and drink
I
and
mean,
cook with.
they got a system for it by now. So
Yeah.
you just people adapt, man. That's
Yep.
life.
Right?
I wonder how that, like geographically within Flint, Michigan, like how far that goes out. Like at what point? Because there's got to be some point where you're not on city water. You're more
Right.
on the
Or well water.
yeah.
I don't know.
So I wonder how
It'd be
far up
interesting
it
to
is.
learn.
Yeah. Just like, is it the next town over? Is fine. I'm assuming.
Is
'Cause
Flint
we only
a
hear about
suburb
Flint.
of something else?
I don't know. Good question.
Speaking of
If only
adapting
I-
and all that stuff,
If only I had a map.
If only
I
you
was-
had a device connected to the wealth of
yeah,
human
right.
knowledge.
I was talking when I was in San Diego. I was talking with a few guys about homelessness and all that stuff, and how bad it is up actually North California, like excuse me, like San Francisco.
Need some coffee?
Long day. Been up since 7 a.m.
Been a long December.
I guess. Anyway, the homeless population up north in like San Francisco and stuff like that. And I get California. I get it. It's like it's warm. It's San Diego, man. Yeah, why? I would totally be homeless there because it's nice, like all the time. But I was talking with one of the people that live up in Colorado. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, we've got a problem with that too." I'm like, I don't know how you could be homeless in a state that gets like snow. It's cold. It's where I've always
Once again,
lived.
people adapt.
Yeah.
People adapt. That's where I was going with this conversation.
I know Scott just hopped on. Scott A. He's the one that actually brought the mead to me. And if you do want to, we started.
Thank you,
with
Scott. Thank you.
We started with the mead at the beginning of the episode, and we keep going back to it in between each of the beers. So
It's refreshing.
it is. We loved it. So it's really, really good. It hit that nice spot that not too sweet, but sweet enough, and no, it was perfect. It was really good. Good palate cleanser between the beers.
Brian, did you just reference a commercial for candy?
Toot sweet.
Well,
That was from
sour
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
No,
Toot sweet.
It's the sweet and the sour. Sometimes he's sweet, and
Sometimes it's sour.
sometimes he's sour.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know what that is.
It's a flavored candy. You get the sweetness of the candy, and then all of a
Those of
sudden
us
it
that
goes
don't
sour.
watch TV.
the little bears or whatever they are.
Nope.
Sometimes he's sweet.
Sour Patch Kids?
I think it's Sour Patch Kids. Yeah,
Maybe. We'll go with that.
I think it's Sour Patch Kids.
I'm going to try this cross strain that you're drinking on.
Oh yeah. We really didn't get into it all that much. Cross Train, they're local here in Nebraska, have won gold medals in beer competitions, especially the Great American Beer Fest out in Colorado. And I have not had Brian, in the little cup. He said,
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted some mead. Sorry.
I just want to taste it.
Okay.
they are amazingly awesome there at Cross Train.
Still have that keg. I need to get it back to him. Wonder if there's a limit. on
Okay, you bought that keg for Dad's
May.
retirement party back in. And
I
it's
mean,
I
really-
can't remember the percentage on it, but it's not that
Oh.
high. I think it's like 7.
That's a
7
lot.
too.
A lot more crisp because with a hazy IPA, I was thinking you expect a certain flavor profile, and this is really crisp, clean, refreshing almost.
Yeah.
Citrusy. I like it.
It was right up there, like I said, with the Project Pint.
Not again, bro. Jeez. Get some coffee.
I've been in San-
Come on,
Get a
Brett.
5-hour energy or something. Yeah. All right. Next episode.
Santiago.
Which is
A Wales Lady Pints.
yeah. Agree to disagree. Quail and Clown Shoes, episode 90.
Bingo.
Yep. So we had on where are we at here? We had Joe on from Quail Distributing, which does a lot of the distributing here.
And I run into him so much now
Nice.
that we know each other. I just randomly run into him a lot. So it's great. And he's like, I'd love to get back on the show. I'm like,
Yeah, anytime,
man.
anytime.
Anytime.
It was good. It was good times. And then Jim from Clown Shoes Beer, who's actually featured on some of the
On one of the beers.
Yeah, on the can art, which
On-
is amazing. If you don't know about Clown Shoes Beer, they have amazing can art.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. So he had one with it was the sea otters, and he was riding something.
Yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
I've got the can over there.
Probably somewhere.
I'm sure
yeah.
we can look it up. But no, it was a random thing, too. I just happened to be at Casual Pint. Hey, thank you, sponsor Casual Pint. I just happened to be there, and there was a Quail Distributing, or not Quail Distributing, but Clown Shoes thing. And this gentleman was like, yeah, no, I'm the distributor for Quail Distributing. And we got to talking, and he's like, you have a show? Could I get this guy on the show? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. And literally, I think it was like 2 days later, I ran into him again. And that time he actually had the guy with him.
Like he probably brought eight
Yeah.
or so different.
I'd
Clown Shoes
say
beers.
8 or 10 at least.
Yeah, it was great. That was a lot of fun. But between the four of us, I mean, it wasn't really
Yeah, no, it was one beer. But
split between the four of us.
between
Yeah.
four.
So
the-
yeah, no,
I mean, we only had like 2 or 3 beers. So
it was great. That was a really good time, and we got into some stories of, Clown Shoes itself, on how they became to be, and actually his life, because Jim was actually going to be a veterinarian.
Yeah, no, it was kind
or
of weird that
was
he
a
got
veterinarian.
into,
Yeah. So
got
which
into beer.
which is also go back to that episode, and he talks about why there's otters with him on the can art. So it's pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was a good episode. If you want to learn more about Clown Shoes Beer and Quail Distributing.
You want to learn a lot about any of these episodes that we're talking about, feel free after the show, dial it back and check out.
They're all on iTunes, Google Play Music, all of your
Spotify, live stream, YouTube.
All the things.
All the things out there.
Yeah, whether you want audio or video.
Yeah.
So.
I prefer the video, and then I put it up on the TV.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I drink along with us.
Yeah, I do that when I'm drinking and driving in the car.
I'll typically
just kidding. I don't.
Yeah, I'll typically the next evening after recording, I'll usually put it up on the TV, see how we did.
Yeah,
see where the mess ups were and all that stuff.
Yeah, we don't do that though.
Yeah, there aren't
we don't mess up. I'm just saying,
pure gold, pure gold,
pure gold all the time.
Pure gold,
pure gold.
Our sweet sultry voices.
I found out. I'll talk about it when we get to that episode. So.
Okay. Yeah. Stop
it.
Ahead.
Don't do it.
All right. The next one we did an on location at Casual Pint. Speaking of our lovely sponsor, this was our Oktoberfest tasting. They're at Casual Pint. We tested 6 different Oktoberfests. 2 were local, 2 were national, and 2 were from Germany.
Thank you, David.
And Aaron, who was the brewer that was on there with us.
Yes.
Who's
it was
the Oktoberfest.
Double gold.
Fantastic.
Oktoberfest. Great.
Yeah. Locally, it was Brickway. Their Oktoberfest was.
And that was solid, too. But this is actually our second time doing a blind taste testing of Oktoberfest. So the year prior, or the season prior, I guess, back when
that was the first time they came on the podcast.
It was and that was relatively one of the first times I started actually hanging out at Casual Pint on a regular basis. Was back when we had him back on season 2 for Oktoberfest back then. It was him and his brother. They came and we again did a blind taste testing, which both times, this time and then the time before. I knew exactly. I was like, that one's from Germany. That is the true beer.
Doesn't Huber House down at the Crescent Moon have some pretty traditional German?
They do, and
Oktoberfest beers.
Roskellern too is also a German tap house out there. So
I've had the Paul Anner down in it, and I think you can get Paul Anner in most places.
Warsteiner is another one you can get pretty much anywhere, but that's more seasonal.
I don't like Warsteiner, but that's
really?
a personal opinion.
Yeah.
Paul Anner I like, but I think that's a pretty classic traditional Oktoberfest beer that you can get down at Huber House.
Nice.
Fill up a boot.
Oh, to the boot.
Pass it around the table.
Yeah. Yeah. No. The only negative I would say about Huber House is how small it is.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of space
and the
there.
seating is odd. If you're not there with 12 people, then you're going to sit with strangers on a picnic table. But
that's
I've
how
never been there. That sounds cool though.
That's how the Roskeller does it. So that must be like
That's
traditionally
the style. I mean, if you look at anything of Oktoberfest over at
just a bunch of tables
in Germany, it's
long tables,
big old beer gardens with long tables.
So out in Vegas, they got the Hopper House, and it's a German ale house, and you can do the whole paddle thing for your birthday and all that stuff. And
I'm good.
You have giant tables, and
full event.
It should be shared among friends.
It should be.
Absolutely.
Though I have occasionally had a few at night when I'm relaxing by myself.
Oh yeah, well no. I do too.
I have been known. That was super fun though. I really learned a lot about Oktoberfest and
I can't believe how well the audio took off from that.
Oh yeah, because it's concrete floors and.
Well, we were actually filming in location at the Casual Pint, and there were people there.
Yeah, they didn't shut down for us. It was open to anybody. And then afterwards, they had a bunch of brewers there that kind of hung out,
shared some beer with us,
some
which
really
was great.
rare beer. That was. Really
I'm just saying
cool.
that Drink Talk should probably schedule an on location at Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany.
Ooh, and we could have it as a write-off if we had a budget.
Yeah, do it.
So
I'll be your special
next
guest
year,
host.
right? 2020 is the year, right? Season 4, 2020. Oh,
I was just thinking of Beertopia. I don't know if they still have their points program, but I think it's like if you get 30,000 points, they'll fly you and a friend to Germany for free.
Well,
but 30,000 points is 1 point per dollar, so that's $30,000 you got to spend there in a year.
They'll send
challenge accepted.
We will buy the $1,000 or well, it's probably more like $2,500 a ticket. What do you think to get over to
Oh
Germany?
yeah, no. Instead of 30,000.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so there's $5,000. You spend $30,000, we'll give you $5,000
Yeah,
back
sure.
in plane tickets. Lodging's up to you.
No, I think they pay for lodging.
Oh, do
It's
they
the
really?
whole. It's the whole thing. Plane
Nice.
tickets, lodging, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it right.
Do it right. All right.
Do small.
If you're gonna do it,
slowly.
overdo it.
Yeah. All right. This next one, we had a return guest host on. We ended up doing. He had a live feed of the Area 51 raid going on his
Oh
phone.
my gosh.
And so we were talking about that whole thing because this all stemmed from a Facebook post where they scheduled something
Yeah, raid Area
you know,
51 on
as
this
a
day.
as a joke, and then it blew up. It went viral.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, and the funny thing was, I think we were the actual only live feed Area 51 raid people talking about the raid live because everything
there
else
were
was
some-
like pre-done.
There were some YouTube feeds and things, but
They were not live.
No, just-
They were not live. They were, and if they were live, they got taken down right away. I think YouTube was monitoring it very closely about like, we don't see, there's nothing going on here.
I did see a meme today, and it was on one of my veteran Facebook groups that I'm on. And it was, for those of you that did not die in the Area 51 raid, remember World War III is coming up.
Oh,
yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny. But and anyway, we had a lot of fun talking about just not only like alien culture and all that, which we kind of touched on the first episode that Mike was on, but we
It's-
also talked about like how things go viral and all that. And it was an interesting episode.
It's fun to talk about the unknown. You
Right.
know what I mean? They call them UFOs because they are unidentified flying objects,
Which can mean a variety of different things.
exactly. So
I don't know what that is. It's moving in the air.
Yeah.
It's an unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
it's just fun to talk about that sort of stuff because we don't do that every day. So I enjoyed both of those last year and this year's podcast with Mike. So
Yeah.
kudos, Mike.
Yeah. And we see him from time to time.
Well,
Good dude. Good dude. Next episode. This was another one of those. Very much.
I'm like, yeah. Well, what do you want? He goes, vermouth, and I went, huh. And he goes, no, that's why I want to have an episode. And he's like, I want to
Change your
mind. I'm like,
Perfect.
perfect.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
The only thing I knew prior to that episode about vermouth was that it went into drinks. And then in doing research and coming on the program, I was like, oh, vermouth is so much more. And in fact, ever since then, when I go to a bar, if they do a lot of Manhattans or things that have vermouth in there, I'll actually order a vermouth with a couple ice cubes in it. And
I actually have some vermouth sitting in the fridge if we wanted to do a shout out to vermouth. Just saying.
Well, now I'm curious. I wasn't on that episode, and I didn't get the rundown. but-
So vermouth is classified as a wine. So you can keep it around for a while, but it does go bad after a few months. So if you go to a bar and you see an open bottle with dust on it,
So
probably not good.
when was this episode, Brian? This was like late October.
Yeah. No,
So-
beginning of October.
So it's been open for 3 months, but I've kept it in the fridge. And that's what they say you've got to do is just make sure you put it in the fridge. And it's
So
sealed.
we'll
It's
do
sealed
a-
good.
Yeah, we'll do a little sampling here.
Why not?
Why is it a wine? Is it made from grapes?
It's called a fortified wine, is what it technically is classified. But
Okay.
yes, made from grapes, and you have vermouth, and you have vermouth blanco, which is white wine.
Yeah.
And
Now
one
this is going to pale in comparison to the vermouths that he brought here, but hey, might as well
yeah, we'll give it a go.
give it a hoot.
I think this is the red one.
Just a did, just a dib,
Yeah.
little dab of do you?
So if you've never had vermouth, it's actually in Europe. They'll
Just a little bit ago, it's kind of got a mead kind of flavor to it.
I get a little caramel.
It's still good.
No.
That's very nice actually.
Oh man.
yeah. So Alzeri
It
dropped
smells
like
very rich.
Alzeri dropped like a knowledge bomb during that one, and there is so much like the fortifiedness of it.
I want to
there's a
hang
lot.
out with that guy.
Yeah.
More. He knows things.
You're gonna get a little tree bark flavor going on.
Okay.
You know, and hence why they mix it with gin a lot.
Yeah. It's a sweet. There's a little. I mean, tree bark makes it sound bad, but it's not. And it's
Wow.
a. And that's
Well, Brian, what's the shot we took at Cedar?
oh yeah. Fernet Blanc.
Fernet Blanc.
No. Yeah.
I thought it was Fernet Blanc.
It's a Fernet, but I can't think of the name.
Same kind of
Yeah.
aftertaste flavor with this one.
I got to tell you guys, I don't think I've ever had vermouth straight in my entire life.
And now
And-
you have.
and you're welcome. You're welcome. For
Welcome to Drink Talk.
that. Changing people's minds, one drink at a time.
Yeah.
It's
Fernet, yeah,
interesting.
Fernet Branca
Wow.
is the name of that shot. It's fermented tree bark, basically, is what it tastes like.
That's so interesting.
This,
Vermouth.
yeah.
Like just vermouth is
Yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah.
Now this
when
is
you think of it, you think of Grandpa. You're like, oh, we're gonna have a martini. What are we gonna do here? You know, like
you're gonna mix it in something. No,
no, just straight up. What are we gonna do here?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's got a little bit of bitterness to it.
Slightly, yeah, in the back,
definitely.
in the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the aroma of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The aroma is super rich.
And this is 3 months old.
The
you know?
aroma
Fine.
is like creme brulee. Like it is.
Well, and I'm surprised.
Rich.
Usually, when I go, so when we went and saw Josh playing out at Ozone, I always order a vermouth there. I'm surprised I didn't let you have a little sample of it when we were there last. This is from Spain, so this is more of the traditional vermouth styling.
Okay.
Yeah,
And again, you can pick this up at.
and got us into the vermouth, which was really interesting.
I'm like, I know that we're not like going back to that episode at the moment right now, but like how
Well, I
do
mean,
you
we
get
kinda
this?
talking about it.
are.
How do you get this out of grapes? This is nuts.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of flavor. There's so much
I
going
don't
on
mean
flavor
like,
wise.
I don't mean cashews. I mean like this is crazy. It's so rich. It has such a viscosity. It's nothing like wine. It's wild.
Viscosity. I like. Nice choice of words.
Yeah.
It's a wine
It's a $10 word right there.
SAT word.
Yeah. No, and I think that's why they call it a fortified wine, because there's a lot going on with it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. It's very good though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've been known to just order it at a bar. Like I said, if you're feeling adventurous, just order a drink of it, and usually they'll pour you a 1 or 2 ounce pour of it. It's not really quite a whole drink, so I mean, it could be a in between drinks. Try a vermouth. Why not?
Sure.
Break out your
Palate
comfort
cleanser,
zone.
kind of. Not really though.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of flavor going on in these
Palate
things.
changer.
Palate
for sure.
changer. There we
That's
go.
a way better description of it. Palate changer.
Yeah,
I
it takes
like
you
that.
to the other end of it, whatever that means.
Yeah, not palate wrecker like some IPAs. It can
Right.
be a palate wrecker.
Speaking of IPAs, I'm ready for the next one.
All right, what are we doing?
Let's do Zipline.
If you're doing zipline IPAs, then I'll participate.
Yes.
There it is. Dying, which we've had
This is
before.
the dang.
I believe
Oh,
we've
yeah.
had this before.
Dang.
I like the copper. I said pick up some zipline copper, and then
Yeah.
and then I said it's the third case from the left.
Well, you know exactly where it was. on
Unless
that,
you
but-
go on Friday. Then it's
Unless
half-
you go on Friday, then it's half price if you're part of the club, though.
That's
So-
right.
It's a big seller there.
So can I? I'm gonna interject here. So I know the guy who started Zipline.
Yeah.
Which is out of Lincoln, Nebraska here. It's
Out of
fairly
Lincoln?
local.
So this guy, his name is Marcus Powers. Great dude. I hope he hears this.
I like-
I'm gonna pick a fight with him.
I would name the son Austin.
Of course, why wouldn't you? No.
Austin Powers. Come on.
So Marcus lived in the dorms at UNL.
Yeah.
With a bunch of people that I knew. It's University of Nebraska Lincoln dorms, right?
Sure.
It's kind of like a small town. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
But Marcus, was
They've got our pro team there, the Cornhuskers.
of course, yeah, the only pro team in Nebraska.
Exactly.
And Marcus is a great dude, great guy, but I wouldn't say that he was the quintessential good student. I wouldn't say that he was going to be voted most likely to succeed. I wouldn't say that he was like, any of those things. But he was incredibly well liked and incredibly smart, obviously. And then, sure enough, he starts. We go off and I, get a job and
Go do things
Nose.
and start making money.
and I get a job in a salt mine with my nose to the grindstone, and
Okay.
that's what I do. And Marcus, of course, goes off and starts zipline and takes over the world. Well done, Marcus. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you, buddy.
Yeah, that's great. Can you line something up for us then?
It's worth a shot.
Sounds like you can.
I'd give it a try. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd reach out to him. It'd be a stretch, but
Reach out to him. Let me give you a few business cards too, by the
Sure,
way, for
yeah.
Drink Talk,
Yeah, we
and
can do that.
line it up, and you'll be on it, and there you go.
I've got some. They're in my backpack, but give me more.
Yeah, I just printed off like 500. So
I got to say
So-
that Zipline, Marcus, if you ever hear this, Zipline is without a doubt my go-to. I wonder if it's a regional thing, because maybe I'm a jerk here, but I feel like Zipline makes some of the best dang beers.
I see what you did there.
I love that Zipline Copper. I love this IPA. I wonder if it's a regional thing, if just people here in Nebraska have similar tastes. And if Marcus is in charge out there, I could suspect that
Wow.
he knows what he's doing.
Well,
at least
and-
for the local group.
Brian, he's going to get us in see
Yes, we do
we'll
need
see
to get out
about
there.
doing that.
Murmur had a comment here that he misses Dang. So our question to you, Murmur, is: do you need a care package sent to you? Is that
Dang.
so we can get you what you need?
Yeah, when you leave Nebraska, you need Runzas and Zipline.
We could pack them in, the
Omaha
ice-
Steaks?
Yeah,
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 Omaha
just like
Steaks.
pack them like Omaha Steaks.
With that said, Zipline's based out of Lincoln,
Yeah,
but we'd have to do like a tap room here in Omaha,
Which they just opened
they have
recently.
they have two of them now, I believe. There's one out on Highway 6,
Which is
just-
always crazy busy.
just north of F Street. My kids have gymnastics practice next door, but it's usually
Perfect.
How
but it's usually
convenient.
on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and
Oh.
I can't pop in.
Are they not open that early?
They
Brian and I
are,
had
but
the same expression.
They
I was
are,
like,
but I
double time.
I think they're open, but I just can't. Like, I can't walk out of gymnastics practice to go grab a
You're
beer.
just gonna have to tell your son, you know what? You're gonna have nighttime gymnastics now.
yeah,
Right?
no. So
Well, that's Casual Pint is right next door to West Side. And so, like, football season,
Right, yeah.
they get a lot of parents just, like, waiting for their kids to
Sure.
get done with football, and
Yeah.
they'll just hang out.
Can I get a growler and a straw? Just saying.
It's all good.
that's similar to local, the one on Millard Avenue.
Yeah,
Are you
there's
familiar?
a few,
yeah.
yeah, there's a couple. There's one downtown.
Church for Vacation Bible School, and then we're gonna go have a couple, and then go pick it back up.
We're gonna go, have communion, and
Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Right?
And then we got the lecture. Don't you think that you guys could volunteer to help during Vacation Bible School?
No.
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 It
No.
seems like
We're
you've got
doing
enough.
business while we're there.
Yeah, you've got. high
I'm on
school
my
kids for
computer
that.
laptop, and we're hacking out
I'm
emails
sorry.
here. I ain't got time for that.
all right, next episode. This was another one where we had a guest. This was Bodes. So we had freestyling with Bodes.
So like Bodes, him and I go back to preschool pretty much. Long time friend. And he
Mike was also on the program too.
I was,
Yeah,
and I
that's right,
remember
yeah.
Bodes. I was very pleased to meet him, and I was very pleased to know that he had associations with a local band called Noise Wave, which I thought was great because I listened to them when I was in high school. It was awesome, unbelievable. It was very nostalgic for me.
Nice.
The best way that I could describe his music is like underground rap,
yeah.
but it's not. There's so much more. It's like electronic.
Goth,
Yeah. There's so many.
grunge.
It's like an amalgam of categories
Yeah.
mixed into one. It's a stew
Yeah,
of genres, basically.
pleasant.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like some of his
Deep.
riffed tracks,
Yeah.
the interludes of music, and you're just like, wow, that was very well put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's spelled B0DES if you're looking that up.
Yeah, but he did that on purpose, right?
Yeah.
to make it.
You
not
can find
as
them out
easy to
right
find.
on Spotify. Check it out. Oh, let me just do this.
Yeah, you're the one that controls the camera.
Meow. There we go. There's Bodes. You can find them on Spotify for sure. You can find them on YouTube. But
We're
super
high
cool.
tech here.
Yeah.
Those are the actual sounds of the camera.
Illuminate.
We have an R2D2 here.
Illuminate,
that
yeah.
runs-
R2D2 camera.
Beep, bop, boop, boop. We also
Bing bong boom.
IS, buddy.
Yeah,
Information
OIS.
security.
How dare you?
IO. No,
Yep.
not IO. IS.
Yeah, information securities.
I fight this battle every day. That
But you know what I mean. You guys were
information
kind of in
security is
the. You guys were in the same kind of field.
not IT. We're both nerds, yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly.
what
We're
I
both
found
nerds, exactly.
what I found interesting from Bode's perspective, being an underground music artist, trying to promote yourself in the digital age while trying to remain anonymous somewhat. He said it is super hard.
Well,
to do
and
that.
the one thing I need to talk to him about, and he's actually talked to me about, is just like when someone types in drink talk, it just, we're there. Because like if you go to YouTube and you type in drink talk, we are not there. We are on page 9.
Like, you get to
but
type
if you type in
Brian
drink
and
talk
Britt.
Brian and Britt, first one.
Sure.
It's all in the wording. It's all in the way you tag. But there is a song out there called Drink Talk, and so that gets number 1 because they've got millions of hits already. Sure. But I'm just like, how do you make
do we
yourself
go after him? I mean, we have copyright, right? or do we
We
merge
don't
with
go
and
after
say-
them
yeah.
because they came out with a song before we even started the show.
Oh.
So
There are companies that do this.
Yeah,
SEO, man. Search engine optimization.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not really willing to shot lots and lots of dollars, but I mean, I have lots and lots of beer usually, so like I can make that happen.
I actually had a company reach out to me because I monitor our email. Cheers at drinktalkpodcast.com, which we don't do a lot with, but it's fun to have.
there.
But I get a lot of emails saying, "Hey, there's this Chinese website that stole your name," and I'm like,
Who cares?
Whatever.
Yeah. They stole my name. Big deal.
"Yeah, okay, yeah, not worried right now."
So anyway,
Yeah.
we just need to buckle down this year and improve some things, and one of them being our presence online,
social media,
social
Yeah.
media. Excellent.
Next one. Anyway, so a little bit more about that episode. We started talking about underground music culture because
Yeah.
he's an underground music, and we also talked about what it means to be a music artist today.
And we actually listened to some of his music on the show,
yeah.
which
With
I was a
his-
little leery about because the whole Facebook copyright,
But the guy was
thing.
literally here
I'm
giving
like,
us
no, this
permission.
is the guy right here.
Yeah. So
And they didn't.
He
they
says
didn't
it's
shut it down.
okay.
It's okay.
Did
man.
you hear that? Could you sign here and hold it up to the camera? Thank
Right.
you. All right.
They didn't shut us down, so that was good.
Yeah, no, it was super fun. And then afterwards, we had a super fun talk because it was reminiscent about the old days because Britt and him go way back. So
Yeah.
we had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
The way back.
The Wayback Machine. All right, we're getting close, man. The last 2 episodes here. So episode 95, that was impromptu.
Yeah, that okay. So let me paint the picture for you all. Brian texts me on a Saturday night, and he goes, "What are you up to, man?" I'm
It was
like,
Tuesday.
"Was it a Tuesday?"
It was a Tuesday.
It was
'Cause
a random Tuesday night.
It was right before your birthday.
And he goes, "What are you up to?" And I'm like, He goes, "You want some beer?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we went to Casual Pint.
Is that a question?
And I'm like, we went to Casual Pint, and then we were sitting at Casual Pint enjoying our first pint, and we're like, "Should we just do a show?" And it's like, "Yeah, let's do a show." And show.
No
And it
notes.
was
No
nothing. And
Yeah.
we went for an hour and a half, hour and 45
easy,
minutes.
Easy, an hour and a half.
Just-
Yeah.
It's just rambling.
What'd you talk about? I didn't watch. Sorry.
No, that's all right. So
It
we
was a
ended.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
It was
School
a
night.
weird, random Tuesday.
yeah. We ended up talking.
Impromptu.
Just preparing because this was on early November, mid-November. We were talking about preparing for the holidays. We talked about stuff that was going on in the news. We talked about family. We talked about
Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, all those things. So it was
Pop culture.
Pop
that
culture.
was
at a table that I've like not watched Game of Thrones at all,
Yeah.
which is crazy in my mind.
How did we all get together?
Now, Star Wars new series Mandalorian.
Okay, so
I'm all
that's
over
not
that.
Pop culture. That's what we call biblical history.
Yeah, I'm all over that. In fact, I still haven't seen the season finale of Mandalorian yet.
So what happens is, no, I'm,
Yeah.
just-
Oh.
I'm kidding.
I
I'm
went
not
to
gonna do
to
that.
start to watch it, and we were like 5 minutes in. Carly's like, "Oh, is this Star Wars?" And I'm like, I turned it off.
I made my children, my 2
I
boys.
might watch that tonight after the show's done.
I made my 5-year-old and 7-year-old sons and my wife watch all
They were great.
so that we could go watch episode 9,
Mhm.
Rise of Skywalker, together in the theater.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Julia, all of them,
Oh.
So,
including the one in the theater.
Oh.
fun fact of
What a waste of a ticket.
Uh,
I would have gone with you.
I hit her enough to wake her up. But
fun fact of the Mandalorian, episode 1, and then later, not in later episodes, season 1, but in later episodes, probably in the further seasons. But we have a local Omaha artist in
The
Mandalorian.
bartender.
John Beasley
No
was
kidding.
the bartender in the first episode of Mandalorian.
why do I know that name?
He was a stage actor here on
Oh.
stage. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. He's been in several commercials. You've seen him. I mean, he
Yeah,
does.
I was like,
yeah.
what? I know
Yeah,
that
he's-
guy.
he's
Now
like-
you got to go back and watch episode 1 again.
I
Yeah, he's
guess.
the bartender. I mean, once you know, then you're like, oh, yeah, I know.
Did you guys know in Rise of Skywalker, there's a very short cut.
Haven't seen it yet, so.
No,
Yeah, I haven't seen it
No
either.
spoilers here.
All
There's a very guess, kind of like the cantina in Mos
Yeah.
Eisley, but they go into a bar, and there's a quick cut, like 2 seconds, to the bartender. It's a weird guy with this crazy like telescope,
Eyeball
cyclops
thing.
eyeball thing.
Thing about this, and actually, our friend Josh,
I've never heard of it.
it's a family tradition for them because they stumbled upon it in Europe, and it has become a family tradition to go watch it every year. So
Really?
I saw. I went out to see him play. Our friend Josh plays here locally. He's a music artist and he plays locally. And I went out to see him one night, and his mother was there, so we got to chatting and told her about that. And she's like, "Oh my God, you got to let me know." When she's in this, they triple cast her part, which was nice because she's been in several shows before that and needs a break. So she's not going to be in all the productions of it. But she's like, yeah, that's like our family tradition. We watch it every year, so it's a big thing in our family. And I was like, I know nothing about this. And the only thing I knew about
I've
it,
never heard of it, dude.
so it's basically what I'll tell you what I knew about it before, and then we just bought the movie because they made a movie off of it, and it's really interesting. But what I knew about it before, it's a musical family, and so she plays the only child in there. And the only other thing I knew about it was that they have the bar for the audience on the stage, which is pretty cool. So you can like go upstate on the stage.
You can go on stage
and-
during the production.
during the production and order your drink.
I don't know that I'd have the guts.
I would. But anyway, we bought the movie, and which was probably filmed, 15, 20 years ago or so. I mean, it's in the UK, and it's a local artist there in the UK, not in London. They're in a smaller town outside of London, and he is a fantastic music artist, and he will play stuff that people know, but he likes to write his own music. And then there's this gal that ends up meeting up with him. She's from Czechoslovakia, or is it the Czech Republic now? I can't.
Whichever.
Yeah. I think it's the Czech Republic now.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. During the day, people are just walking by. They're doing their thing. They only want to hear stuff that they know. So I play that. At night, people are out at the bars. They're willing to listen to stuff that that I wrote. And then they end up kind of teaming up together and kind of falling in love and recording the stuff. But she's married. Her husband's still in Czechoslovakia.
You're giving away the entire thing right now.
It's the synopsis anyway.
fair enough.
But I'm not giving away all the details. But I mean, he was kind of a love lost. He'd loved once, wrote a song about it. She absolutely loved it and encouraged him to, seek her out again and all that. And the whole thing about Once, through the whole movie, you're wondering, why is this called Once? And then at the end, you're like, oh, it was like once we were in love. We recorded an album together once. We did this thing once, and then they actually, during the end credits, you have to get like halfway through the credits, but during the end credits, they actually play the song once, and it's recorded by him. But the interesting thing about the movie is the actual songs were written by the writer and director. Over like 3/4 of the songs in the movie are written by the writer and director of the movie.
Huh.
It's,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting.
What's the name of the movie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, that.
Which is the production that Brinley's in coming up here. So that's kind of my...
ONCE? once.
Yeah, once
Gotcha.
a year.
We'll be there. We always go to support Brian's
Yes,
children.
we'll be there too.
At the Playhouse.
Yeah. And if you'd like to also, you can find them at
www.
Omaha Community Playhouse. Now, the neat thing about the Community Playhouse,
It's one of the best in the country.
Dude, that place is
largest.
amazing.
It's the largest, but they
You
have a
need-
whole costume department.
I know they do,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying they coincide with each other. The people that work over there work over there. Back and forth.
Yeah, but there's amazing talent that goes through, and it's all. There are very few,
like Henry Fonda.
yeah, but there are very
Jane Fonda's sister.
the people that you go see up on stage. Very, very few, and I'm talking like the 1% there
Yeah.
get paid. Everybody else, it's all volunteer stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few actors in there that have their, I forget the
Brian, I'm
card.
surprised your kids aren't on Broadway already. Just saying.
Give it time.
Are your
Give it
kids
time.
paid right? Are they the 1%?
They're not. No, they don't have their card yet. Yeah, they haven't put in the
They're
hours
not,
yet. Yeah.
they're not in the SAG.
Yeah, yeah. The Screen Actors Guild.
All right, let's
yeah.
pull this train back in.
Yeah. All right. Well, we only have one more episode to talk about, really.
Oh, fair
so,
enough. All right.
Are we done with the impromptu? Yes.
Well, that was totally impromptu what you guys just
Yeah.
did there moments ago.
And
So it
then-
was just kind of like that.
You know.
Then our last episode, which was kind of mid to late December, was Have a Holly Jolly Christmas,
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
which was almost a
It's
part
the best
two.
time of the year.
It was almost a part two to the impromptu, really. I mean, because impromptu, we talked about the holiday season.
Right.
And then this one was more about Christmas.
Focusing in on
Yeah.
the Christmas.
It
In
trigger-
fact, I listened to that on the plane ride back from San Diego, since it's a darn near 3-hour journey. And so I was like, all right, so that. I got drunk. I was pretty drunk at the end of that show.
we have that effect, apparently. On
well,
people.
that we had that big, huge, you know.
the Christmas ale by Breckenridge
Yeah,
Brewing
we
Company.
had the big keg, or
5
the pony
liter,
keg,
the 5
whatever,
liter
the
keg.
5-liter keg.
Yeah.
And we did finish it after the show,
Mhm.
but I was searching for words there at the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, the thing, and Brian's like, the thing, the thing, the thing.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
that thing.
thing. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom, there it is in my head, and we keep
Tom's
going.
here.
Exactly, Tom's here. Yeah.
I just pulled that full circle to the.
You did.
I like
Backing up. And
As
there
you
was
do.
somebody running next to me on the treadmill, and they're like, "Why are you laughing so much?" I'm like,
Don't you laugh when you run on the treadmill?
Let me show you. Let me tell you what's up. So,
Mike, do you need anything? You're looking empty over there.
yeah, a little
I'm
more,
em-
little
I'm
more
empty if
dang.
you- I'm empty if you're empty.
I'm gonna just polish off the dang. But what
Yeah.
do you want?
I'll take another one of my Belgian whites.
There is one that we have not had.
There's more than one because I brought.
Oh, you
Another
brought some, but
specialty.
I was just saying one of my growlers. You
I don't-
brought a specialty. Well,
I
why
don't know
aren't we
what-
drinking that specialty?
I don't know what you guys have got in there.
Do you want a specialty, Brett?
Sure, why not?
What's the specialty, Brian?
I don't know.
Fill us in.
I thought the specialty was the mead.
Oh, I brought a second specialty.
Of
Oh.
course he did.
This one actually I got at Omaha Tap House out west. I live near there, and it's a good go-to place also.
All right.
But they had a special going on, and this is the Bourbon County Stout. This is a heavy hitter.
Oh. All right.
So you want a little sample? This is
A
a
bourbon stout.
15.2%
Holy
ABV.
That sounds like a
Fuck
kick in the
it.
throat.
It is.
I'll do one. I'll do in the little tiny
in the
guy.
wee glass.
In the wee glass.
I'm home, so
I gotta-
like whatever. I'll do
I
whatever.
received I got a gift last night that I thought about bringing here. The thing is it's special to me, but it's not fancy. You know what I mean? It's not rare. It's not fancy.
It's not pinky
It's not
up
pinky
fancy. I got
No, it's,
this right here, Brian.
You want the? All right.
But it so what I got was I got a bottle of Dewar's. I got a 750
yeah.
of Dewar's. But it's
Which is not,
Yours is
you know what?
It's
Yours is a
staple.
well.
Yeah.
Just
you know?
because it's common doesn't make it not good.
Right.
You know,
Right.
rarity doesn't make something good.
I said the same thing. That's kind of my story about Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That was in a charred and scratched barrel, which I just thought was interesting. I hadn't heard of that before. So they charred the oak barrel, but then they scratched the inside of it
Oh, so
To, like,
there's
tear
all
it
the
up.
fresh.
flavor. Yeah.
to tear it up. Yeah. So then you got the char and the raw oak in the same barrel, and it's actually really good. It's I mean, it's a pretty straightforward Scotch whiskey, but you get a little bit of that clean oak and a little bit of that char in it, and it's fantastic. I thought it was a great Scotch whiskey.
I know you like whiskey and bourbon, but do you drink much Scotch at all?
Yeah.
Have you had peated Scotch?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Was
yeah.
it similar to that?
No, it wasn't peated.
Okay.
No.
Well, I know sometimes with the wood you get that earthy.
It's a little more earthy than a typical like oak barrel bourbon.
Mm-hmm. But not.
I mean, it was
not
Scotch style whiskey. But,
Okay.
But it's Dewar's, so I mean.
Yeah.
Dewar's is out of the UK, and then they opened a whole bunch of distilleries in the US, and it's great, but it's Scotch style whiskey. So, but no, it's not really peaty. You can get the oak for sure, and you get the char, but no earthiness, no peatiness to it. Really,
You want to talk about just having regular Dewar's, like just the run of the mill. I am a huge fan of Kessler.
sure.
Kessler's bottom shelf, $9 a bottle.
But I mean,
Kessler's. My grandpa used to drink that stuff,
well, the thing is like,
and
just,
it's smooth. Their quote, "Smooth as silk." It is. It's great.
the
It's
thing
phenomenal.
is like, just because it's not expensive and because it's not rare, just because they make a lot of it doesn't mean it's not good. They make a lot of it for a reason. There's something to be said for that.
Coors Light. They make a lot of it. They sell it.
Sure.
Yeah, not something I'm gonna drink, but it's a.
We do have Britt and I actually have a little. Well, me more because I was drinking it, but
Me more?
Me more.
Me more.
So it was one of our episodes, season 1. It was our when we went on vacation. It was our time. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's literally 10,000 lakes.
Well,
the
so
Leech Lake's like one of the bigger ones, right in the middle.
I
believe you.
It almost didn't, or it just barely didn't qualify to be a Great Lake. That's how large this lake is.
Oh,
oh yeah, it's
Sorry.
very big.
Yeah, 10 Mile Lake is the tiny little one next to it. That's where we were. And anyway, so we took my parents knew some people out there that lived on the lake, and they had a pontoon boat that they took us out on the lake. And so,
I wish we would have had that for 5 days.
oh yeah,
right.
Well, but yeah, we ended up renting one too. But they ended up taking us around, and we also saw some bald eagles, and it was a great time. And then we ended up going back to their place, and they lived on this. There's a little, literally like a little finger that just comes off the lake, and that's where their community was. And like you could just go in there and it was almost like a wading pool. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was
very shallow.
Yeah, literally a little finger off the lake.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting there, and he was like, "You guys want some scotch?" And my dad and I are scotch drinkers. I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Why not?
So he comes out with some scotch, and it's like full of ice. And I'm like, "That's not normally how I drink scotch." But I was, "Ooh, this is really good scotch. What is it?" And so he goes inside and grabs the bottle and comes out, and the first thing I notice is 18 on the bottle. And I grab the ice and I throw it at the lake.
What did
And I'm
you
like-
do?
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how I drink 18-year scotch. And I was like, I've never heard of this scotch. What is this? And so he was a rep for Dewar's. Dewar's had their own brand of high-end scotch, and that's what this was back in the 70s and 80s.
Really?
No longer a thing, and he'd had this bottle for literally 30 years.
My
Oh
grandpa,
my
my father gave me this bottle,
Oh,
and you're like,
no.
what? No,
And then
no.
he threw ice in it.
Then but I mean, yeah.
I drink an unhealthy amount.
Are you
of
watching the
stuff.
questions over here?
Yeah, well, Scott was asking about the mead again. So I'm sorry, Scott. We ended up doing we did the mead at the beginning,
Very beginning
and
of the show.
we could do another one quickly, but we're going to do
We
this.
might.
Yes,
We actually did it twice in the show.
we did, and we loved it, and we'll get back to it probably after this
Yeah.
because this is going to be
A punch in the palate.
yes, indeed.
And you guys are all suckers over there. What's going on here?
What is this?
I
I'm
don't
going to
know.
put my
Cheers.
pinky out on this one because this is dainty. Oh,
This ain't dainty at all. Oh man, this looks like
this is the manwich of beers right here.
yeah.
No, this is the
Well
ice.
done.
This is the icing on the cake. This is definitely the icing on the cake.
You know, for a heavy hitter for 15.2%,
it's actually not half bad.
yeah. It actually is like more of a dessert beer because it's
Wow.
sweet
Oh my gosh.
but smooth, right?
the chocolate
Yep.
and
Oh,
coffee
Heavy. Yep.
that comes through in that.
Yep.
It's like chocolate coffee.
Yeah, it's a 2018 Bourbon County from Goose Island.
And I'm a huge fan of hot cocoa in my coffee.
Dude,
Hot cocoa coffee.
This is like you melted a coffee flavored chocolate bar
Yes.
into a cup. Wow.
How about chocolate covered espresso beans melted?
Yeah.
There we go.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's right.
Yep.
This
Oh yeah, and then made alcohol from that, or made a beer from that.
my goodness.
There's not a lot of carbonation to it.
What is what is this? Where did it come from? One more time.
So
Because it's
Goose Island,
It
which is
really
out of
did-
Chicago. Yeah, out of Chicago.
yeah, I'm familiar.
And every year they produce the Bourbon County,
Mhm.
which they only release
Hey, Brian.
on.
Open up my fridge real quick.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, one back here.
So not many people know about Bourbon County, but some people do. But that's this. What
Yeah.
Brian's is.
So what I have is
Oh.
they canned it. This is the actual bottle. Those of you that are watching, this is the 2019, but that's what that looks like, and it always has this little flag coming
flag.
off.
Yeah.
Pint. Yeah,
Thank you, casual. Mike.
yeah.
That's where I got mine.
All right. Noted.
This one I got from the Omaha Tap House,
Okay.
and they had it on tap, and they would can it for you, but they would only do these. They wouldn't do a growler of it.
Yeah. What is that?
This
by
is
the way,
this is this is a pint basically.
I've never. No way.
That is one pint.
That's not.
It's skinny.
This is not your.
It's skinny.
This is not your normal tall boy.
It's skinny.
16-ounce
Very
can.
skinny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bourbon County, though,
Wow.
you're drinking that Bourbon County right now, which is great.
And this is 2018, so this is two.
But I found a new way to drink it.
Oh, yes.
Let me talk about that real
All
quick.
right. I'm interested.
So
You got me.
I
You
will
got me.
I will let you guys in on a Facebook thing. It's called the French Press.
French press beer.
The French Press beer. So if you're not a big fan
I don't
of
believe you.
if you're not a big fan of the Goose, which it's good, it's really good. Especially like Brian and I did the Goose. What did we have? We had the 15, 16, 17? Or was
16, 17, 18.
16, and they were great. We were like 16 was really good, 17 was awesome. 18 needed to sit around for a little while longer.
Sure.
Well, this is the 19 that I've got sitting in my fridge right now.
I think that I tried that with you guys.
Possibly.
The 17 that you said needed like a little more work.
Well, the 17 was fine. It was the 18.
18, yeah, sorry.
18 needed a little more work.
Because it hadn't sat.
And with that said, the 19 sitting in my fridge right now, I apparently needs to sit, but I'm
And this is the 18, so we know how mellow this is.
Dude,
anyway.
this is delightful.
So
it's rich and it's a
It's called the French Press, and
Huh.
You go onto Facebook and you look up French Press Beer Guild.
yeah, it's
That's its own page there.
it's pretty sweet.
Mhm.
You do have to ask to be a member, but they always would, I would assume, say, yeah, go ahead.
If you ask, they will let you.
yeah,
in.
exactly.
if your username is I hate French press.
I'm not a
they-
huge fan of the dark beers. Not a huge fan, but like I'll drink them.
Sure.
And this one's great. This one is absolutely great.
Dude, this beer is amazing.
But for me to actually create my own beer after they've created a beer, and I'm like, oh, this beer's all right. But then I make it my own beer, and I go, oh, this is great.
yeah,
you know.
we got tacos and pickles, man. And my beer. No, I'm
no, don't do tacos. It's mostly like chocolates and peanut butters and things of that nature.
That's
you would
that's
want to
a
add to it.
crazy night right there. Tacos and
sorry.
beer.
I apologize for my.
No, so
vulgarity.
this one here,
Speaking of tacos and beers, though, I was in San Diego, and
Here we go.
we ended up going to. We went out of the way for this place. Like we were like, hey, we're gonna have dinner here. Like let's go have dinner there. We get there, and it's like a house with a hole cut in it, and you order at the hole, and then you go sit in the backyard at some yard benches. And I'm like, this is sketch. This is real, like, where are we at? It was amazing. Like, the
course
Mexican
it was.
food was so good.
Of course
And
it
I'm
was.
like, we can't sit out. We can't have nice coats on. And it was a little brisk, for that evening. I think we were sitting at like 62. So it was a little brisk, not
Sure.
freezing. But it was so good. It was so good.
Where
Mexican
was
food.
this?
San Diego.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember the name of the place right offhand.
Come on, man! Why you gotta tell me a story about a place where I should eat food?
It's way north, and I'll get you the name of that.
All right,
but
fair enough.
Torrey Pines area. That's where I was.
Oh.
Was the Torrey Pines.
Okay.
In fact, they're hosting the PGA tournament this year, so they're gearing up for that right now. I wanted to do a round at golf clubs as well and that's not even a golf cart rental.
Yeah.
Greens fees, I don't know. I'd probably be sitting at $300 by the
I
time
did
I
the
get on
same.
the
I
course.
did the same thing at Pebble Beach. I was like, that sounds wonderful for someone
and
to do.
it was beautiful. I'll have to show you some pictures. It was.
But
it
for the
was
more
most
expensive
beautiful.
one, is like $300 to golf.
I would assume.
You get somebody to golf for you, and you just watch them.
You're like,
That
you-
is
I was-
that
you
was
pay
amazing.
so that you can caddy.
Yeah,
This is my scorecard.
that's right. Hole in one. Congratulations, me.
Really well done. Yeah. Stand here and take the photo for me.
No.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
a.
You know what that means when you get a hole in one, right? You buy everybody around back at the.
I'm out.
Yeah, no, I
That
didn't-
property that we moved into is beautiful, and I would, gentlemen, if you're listening, because I did talk about Drink Talk to these guys. If you guys are listening, you guys have a beautiful, amazing property, and if you guys ever need help whatsoever, please reach out. I know you all have my business card, so reach out if you ever need help on all the brand new gear these guys got. So, yeah, no, this is great, and I have a bigger cup than you all.
Yeah, you got a ways to go on that one, but you live here, so that's fine.
That's all right.
Yeah. All right. So that was the end. Oh well, we didn't even really talk about. I mean, we kind of touched on it. The Holly Jolly Christmas. Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. That was have a
Last episode, it was the cans and can't do's, and then the movies you should watch, and
lights and traditions and
searching for presents, and
when
holiday music.
When
and-
you should turn your lights on, even if you have them up.
Yeah, no, it was actually kind of a fun episode.
If you want to hear from the security guy, I would say just turn on all the lights all the time.
just a glowing beacon of a house.
I will say this: I was
I
there.
have night
at-
vision cameras.
I
How
was
about
there at Torrey Pines, and I think it was January 2nd.
Light in the house is on, and you should listen to it. It's a wonderful song. If you like or don't like country music, but whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it's the chorus is like every light in the house is on.
Is it? You all right, bro?
allergic to
Is
something.
it right up there with
Bless
Grandma?
you.
Grandma got ran over by the reindeer.
No, this one's sincere. It's not a parody song or anything,
Yeah,
but it
fair
was
enough.
like it was your classic country western song where my wife left me, so I left every light in the house on, so in case she ever comes back.
Well, you know what you get when you play a country song backwards, right?
You get your dog back.
You get your
house
dog
back,
and your truck
yeah.
and your
Get everything back.
and your grandma from the
do-
reindeer.
I do want to. I'm going to be pouring the mead here, so I did want to
All
speak
right,
to
all right,
Scott. So just to let you know, we are at like less than a quarter of a bottle.
We're at
So-
critical mass.
Yes, we. As you can see, as I pour, this is. I'm
So-
getting towards the end of the bottle, so we have enjoyed this immensely.
Anyhow,
Take a little bit more.
when
of that.
I hear
Ooh,
that song,
I just had a little bit of the. What were we drinking before this one?
The Bourbon County.
No. The stuff you mix in a martini.
Oh, the vermouth.
Don't let him not have any. No, it's all right, Brian. Don't give me more.
I've still got coffee
Here,
in this one. So
trade. And
So
then just give me his.
What I did is I just put some water in there.
yeah,
Wash that.
Trade.
Well, you got water.
Give
Don't
him
you?
mine.
Oh, you drank all
I
yours.
drank all my water a
well,
long time ago.
well done.
I've been
I
meaning
still
to go fill
have
it.
this giant glass of craziness.
I got it.
All right, attaboy. Brian needs the water.
You take that one, and I'll take whatever he's about to pour.
Okay. I
That's
don't have the
what
herp or anything, so we're good.
Neither way.
Well, and I'm yeah.
Anyhow, my story is whenever I hear that song, I think to myself, as a security guy, turn all of your lights on, people. All
Yeah.
right? Just get more lights outside your house. That's what you need to do, okay?
I have a giant tree in my front yard, and I light that tree up, and it
Yeah.
becomes the street light.
It's
of,
because it sends all the bad guys to the other people.
One. So
Fantasy
yeah.
honey mead.
and we
Meter-
just
yeah.
finished it all. This is the last.
This
of
is
it.
the last
Yeah.
of the bottle.
Britt's got
the last
last-
lasties.
the last dab.
which we just had two desserts. Really, we just had the Bourbon County, which is high octane,
Oh my gosh.
almost double what this is.
Yeah.
But this is definitely the
Still
honey.
enjoying it over here, guys.
Oh, they're both so good though.
Yeah, they are. The other one is more coffee and chocolate, which, like you said, the
Well,
bitterness of it a little
You
bit.
know what's interesting though is like when you have a really fancy like 5-course meal, they'll come out and they'll serve you chocolate and coffee, or they'll come out and they'll serve you like some kind of very sweet honey thing. You know,
Mhm. And Scott is still on it.
I,
He's like,
I think I called this creme brulee last time.
It-
I was
yeah.
like, the when you nose this, I was like, this is as rich as creme brulee.
the thing I like about creme brulee is there's the sweetness, but they burn the sugar
Yeah,
on the
they
top.
caramelize
So
it, yeah.
Light it on fire.
they do, but that gives it that a little bit of a bitterness. So
Yeah.
it's not as sweet. Like the caramelization.
I
is
just like
still
punching
sweet.
through it. Like,
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is definitely. I wouldn't call it a palate cleanser, but that's kind of what we've been using it as today.
Well, it's a refresher.
It-
You know,
yeah.
it kind of.
It is refreshing.
It's an
It's
ad-
sweet and refreshing, but
an-
not overpowering for sweetness.
It's my adjective for.
it's
refreshing.
refreshing to wrap up season 3.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, look at Brett.
Thanks for having me
getting all
again.
sentimental.
Right?
Yep.
Mike,
like-
I enjoy having you on
I
the
like
show.
hanging out with you guys, man.
You got a good radio
We-
voice, and
We obviously
Wealth of
appreciate you
knowledge.
since you were the.
Say that every time that I've come on this show, I have learned just amazing and valuable and useful things. And
Well, you've also
I love,
taught too.
I love
Yeah.
being change your passwords and illuminate your home. So there you go. So yeah,
There's your knowledge for the
that's
show.
my-
Takeaways
that's my
from the
TLDR.
yeah. Too long didn't read.
Yeah, there you go.
Just eliminate your home and change your password.
Yeah, perfect.
Also, there's some good alcohol around.
Yeah. Also, drink regularly.
Yes. Yeah.
you could splash that in the shooter's face and get away real quick.
Yeah, yeah. No, thanks for having me, guys. I
No.
appreciate it. It's super fun. I
Well,
love it.
Well, and that's kind of what you had talked about. I don't want to end it right now because there's a couple
That's
things
fine.
that I wanted to get through with for like the preview.
And
for
have we
season
answered
4.
all the questions? I mean, you're the Facebook guy. I'm the YouTube guy.
yeah. We had a lot of people following
Yeah.
us. Not a lot of questions, but we did have a lot of people popping in and out. And
Sure.
and Scott is still here, so
That's great. What's up,
thank
buddy?
you for sticking with
Thanks,
us.
Scott.
Thanks
yeah.
for the mead.
Yeah,
man, that was great.
It was
It's
delicious. And
It
real
was
good, man.
fantastic.
Real good, yeah.
tell your friend up
What
in
was
Sioux
the
Falls.
thing? It was
I like the honey. The honey was great in it.
Yeah.
PanaceaHoneyWine.com. And
Oh yeah, he did
You,
send the link. On
I will
the,
tell you that I'm going to look it up because I want to know the address. I drive through Sioux Falls all the time.
Yeah.
So if I'm going through there, I'm going to try and pop in.
And I got to give you the name of the guy that has a giant meat house up there, barbecue.
The Meat House, yeah. All right,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Big J's barbecue,
do
I
it.
think is what it was called.
My never mind. I was going to say something weird. My sister wife lives up there.
We're after 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
We're just
It's
you
my
know.
wife's best friend.
Yeah.
So my sister wife has her family's up there, so we go up there a lot. So.
Nice. All right, I'll have to have you bring some stuff
on your
back
way
then.
to the ranch up in Montana.
Yeah, we occasionally stop up there. You know her, Katie,
Yeah.
my sister wife. Yeah.
I will come with you anytime at ranch in Montana.
Dude.
Little side note, I did like the road trip that you and I took out to Rapid City
Yeah.
to the veteran cemetery out
I,
there.
let me tell the story.
Okay, you tell the story.
Brian
I-
calls
I-
me up one day and he's like, hey man, listen, I got to make this drive tomorrow, and I don't want to do it alone. It's a long drive, and I'd love to have somebody else in the car,
Yeah.
maybe somebody to split the drive. And I was like, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
man, no problem.
Oh, one of those kind of road
I
trips.
was like, what the heck does that mean? He's like,
Yeah.
well, we're transporting
transporting a
We're
person
transporting
that's
someone.
not going to talk at all.
yeah, they're not going to talk at all. They're in a box.
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
Yeah.
Well, no, so we took him
Nothing illegal.
up. No,
All
nothing.
very legal.
Yeah, all part of the business.
Exactly.
So, no, we took him up to Black Hills National Cemetery outside of Sturgis and dropped them off for burial. And
Sturgis. There you go.
yeah,
Black Hills. That's great.
You know what's interesting is that there is a national cemetery just west
For
of
riders.
Just what? No, sorry, not Sturgis. You go through Sturgis. It's west of Spearfish,
Gotcha.
which is to me is like synonymous with Sturgis, but
Right.
no, it's on the other side of Rapid City actually. No, so we drove out there and we delivered this casket, and then we had to drive home the same day. So from Omaha, that's a 9-hour drive out and back. Yeah, I get why Brian didn't want to do that alone. So
you want somebody to be kind of eyes and ears.
Yeah, so that's a fun story when I tell it to my friends, though, because they're like, "You did what?" I was like, "Yeah, I helped a friend bury a body."
It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, well, you know. True story, though.
No.
I'm going to go do what he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, my wife tells me that our
My
kids
wife.
don't really have a chance because I have 2 daughters, and they're like, "Well, you're prior military, and you know, you got this other job."
yeah.
They don't get a chance.
No, they really don't have a chance. They better. Well, they do have a chance, Brian. They're going to be.
I know.
They're going to
I
be
know.
amazing. They're going to be on Broadway. They're going to be sought after human beings for the industry that they're going into.
What I told my wife was, I want them to be the filter before it gets to me. That's how I want to raise them.
They're going to be awesome.
Yep.
And they're going to all those Legos back when we were kids. And now I asked for Legos from Mom's house, and she goes, "No, you can't have those. Those stay here." And I go, "Wait a minute. You gave me those as birthday presents and Christmas presents. Are you Indian giving right now, Mom?
You know,
What are you doing?"
my girls, they love Legos, and I remember.
I'm just being funny
yeah.
and rantful.
Yeah, we're ranting now. This is the ranting portion of the podcast. Anyway, so we were putting together some Legos, and you know how the new Legos, you always have the brochure on how to put the thing together.
Yeah, Guyver's got it down right now.
Well, so they got this set, and it did not have.
It
the
was missing
instructions.
something?
It was missing the instructions.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the most important part.
yeah, and
But you can download those.
You can. But I was like, you know what? When I was growing up, they had instructions on how to build things. But that's not how I played with Legos. I had a tub of Legos, and I built whatever I wanted.
Exactly.
So we dumped everything out, and I was like, build whatever you want.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Anything.
You know.
I built a nightclub one time.
Yeah.
Like, it had 2 tiers, and it's security cameras and
Yeah.
lights.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like, nobody gave me the instructions to build this thing.
Mhm.
And I think I was only 10 years old, but I was like, it's a nightclub.
And I know
lights.
it, and knowing what I know about Legos, I could probably tell you what you use for the security cameras,
Right?
and, you know,
exactly.
like-
Those little,
Yeah.
you know, little hole in the
Yeah.
thing. One,
There's 2.
they were a single space.
Yeah.
Space.
Well,
It was-
the ones I'm thinking of are 2, but they had 2 outer, 2 on the sides, and then they had 1 facing the other
yes,
direction.
that
yeah,
one's.
yeah. You can use them as stoplights. You can use them as like laser guns. You can
Whatever
use them
you
as
wanna
security
do.
cameras. Yeah, whatever. They're great, and they were black.
They were only
pieces.
single space, is what I'm saying. They
Oh.
only took up 1 Lego space.
2.
I don't know.
The ones that I'm using are 2 spaces.
I don't. Whatever. Agree to
what?
disagree.
Agree. Yeah, but it's super awesome.
Guyver and I actually had Lego time today, and he had dumped out all his Legos and all his the instructions because he wanted to build the train. You know, he had built the train 3 times, but this is the 3rd time, 4th time he's going to build it. Whatever, that's fine.
Dang.
Dang.
Sorry, this is my first time drinking.
It's good. Dang's good.
Dang's good.
It's
dang
very
good.
good.
Dang good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I start just like I bought him one of those big green squares, you know, like a field.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, well, you know, he needed something to build stuff on. The biggest piece he had was like this big, and I'm like, no, that's not, you need
big,
a big space. So I bought him a big space. Well, on this big space, I just started building random like things, and they were kind of like towers, kind of like a miniature city kind of thing. And then I put some people over in the corner, and he's like, "What are you building?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, this is a building, this is a building, this is a building, this is a little workout thing for these people in the park. And he's like, where did you get the plans? I'm like, in my head.
Mhm.
He goes,
I'm a
"How do you-"
master builder.
He's like, how do you know? And I'm like,
I'm a master.
I'm like,
builder.
I
Love
am.
it.
I'm creating this out of nothing right now. It's just working with what I've got,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And he found that pretty amazing because
Mm-hmm.
that he wanted to do. But Dad was building something that didn't exist ever.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken him to, or have you taken your boys to Mall of America, to the Lego store? out
No, we've never done that. However, like much smaller version of that is Durham Western Heritage Museum here in Omaha
Oh yeah.
has a
Also, the botanical gardens. They have master builders that come out and do that too.
So the botanical garden showed up. That was entertaining for me, was to bring my kid down to that space and then look at all the things that were already on the wall, and for him to go, "Who built these?" And I'm like, "Just
Random kids.
or
Adults, whatever.
You want to give it a go?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then he built I couldn't get him to leave,
Yeah.
So no, it was great though. But then that really sparked his creativity. It was great.
And then you're like, here's some bacteria spray.
Yeah, here's
wash
hand
your hands.
sanitizer.
Yeah, exactly. Wash your hands.
Scott, thank you for the comment here. Is he loves the cocktail conversations, and that is because
That's
we call
the best part of the show.
we call ourselves Drink Talk because that's what we do. We drink
and we talk, and then it just spills over to just randomness.
And if you have something that you want to talk about, please leave it in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll bring it up and we'll talk about it.
Obviously monitoring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
What do you need, Mike?
That mead wine was so good.
It was.
amazing.
Scott, thank you for bringing that. And
Yeah, Scott, we've never met, but I will shake your hand.
yeah, absolutely.
if your friend ever wants to send more down, hint, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
or come down and visit.
Yes, or give us a tour when we're up in Sioux Falls. We will be. I'm sure. That's
I'm gonna
not-
find him. I'll
That's
go
like
find
there
that
with
guy.
you.
You're only like 2.5 hours up. I mean, that's not far. We can. Now that it's 70 on 29.
Where'd you and I
Road
go?
trip.
Where'd you and me go when we went up for that trip with the other person?
Yeah.
We went up, but we stopped at a brewery.
Was
Well,
that
so-
that the trip you guys decided to like live stream me or something like that, or
No, that was Colorado.
that was Colorado?
Yeah.
That's
No,
So,
when
no,
we
that
went
was
up
it.
for that trip. We stopped in
Rapid City.
and we stopped at the
Firehouse.
It was the firefighter thing.
Yeah, it was the
It's-
oldest brewery in South Dakota.
But the deal is, when you're driving on I-90 across South Dakota, they advertise
80
this.
miles an hour. Holy buckets.
Yeah, well, I-90 at 80 miles an hour for like hundreds of miles. They advertise this brewery. No kidding.
Or Montana.
No, we stopped and they did have a winery, and we took a tour and we talked
did.
to that guy. They had a cherry wine that was so over the top sweet.
Remember where they
He
get
was
their,
like, I don't know that we can serve this. And Brian and I were like, I think you're probably right.
Yeah. maybe for after dessert.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because I asked him, I was like, "Man, you're in South Dakota. You're a little bit north of us. Where do you get your grapes from?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "The University of Minnesota." I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh.
"You're getting your grapes from further north than
Yeah.
you
I
are."
remember that. I remember
Holy
that.
cow.
We should talk to that guy again.
Yeah.
I think we gave him a card though, didn't
yeah.
we?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah, we should call him up.
It was he was super well, and literally nobody was there. It was you, me, and the guy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And the guy, you mean the
we were
guy?
like, can we have a tour of the brewery? And he was like, well, usually no, but I mean,
No
yes.
one's here,
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
okay.
yes.
Why not?
Yeah. No, that was a good time.
That was great.
And to clarify, everything had been done. It was just Mike and I in the car at that
we
point.
didn't park the vehicle
Yes.
prior to delivery.
Yeah. Everything this was on the way back. So just to
Nice.
clarify anything. Oh, yeah.
Fun
That
times.
was good. That was a good road trip. Even though that was a long 18 hours.
That's why he called me though, because
Yeah.
it was 9 hours out, 9 hours back.
Yeah.
And then we stopped at a brewery for lunch.
Yes.
So,
Yes, we did.
or dinner or whatever the hell.
Why
it was. I don't
wouldn't you?
I mean, but I gotta say the scenery. I mean, the thing was in the middle of the mountains and just
Dude,
it
that
was,
The Black
National
Hills, in the
Cemetery.
middle of Black Hills.
it was beautiful.
That national cemetery is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
As
beautiful.
cemeteries go.
Thoughts for season 4. So
Let's do it. Let's have a season 4. That's my thought.
Well,
Let's
yeah, I mean,
we should
that's
have one.
a no-brainer.
We should have one.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons that we were a little late this evening is because we were actually recording the intro.
Technology. I don't
Yeah.
I
understand
mean, you
it.
could, but it's not going to have you talking.
You're in information securities. You don't
Yeah,
understand.
so
technology?
just stop the.
let
So
me
in my
hire
head.
you. Yeah.
Brian,
in my
stop
head.
this music.
Well, it'll stop once I start playing this.
Oh, gotcha.
So we'll just give you a little taste. This is
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. The new intro to season 4.
Yeah. Now this is minus the words. This is just
There you go.
just the
Yeah,
music.
you're like, this doesn't make any noise.
Yeah. This is just the music. So
Oh, it is just the music. It's no words. It's
Yeah.
not our intro, but it is our intro music song to our season 4.
exactly.
You should try to. You should try to
This is Drink Talk, where we try to solve the world's problems one drink at a time.
Join us on this journey.
Yes. Grab your glass, raise it, drink along with us.
In these episodes, we talk about the
Stuff, the things, yesterday, today, tomorrow, all the things.
Well, we should be recording this right now. We are recording this right now. This is great. Check us out. Oh, that's
such a
great
funky beat,
new opener to our music.
Yeah, that is the a preview to the.
I like how we rapped on that though. That was kind of fun.
I know. Some white guys rapping to it.
White guys rapping.
Yep. Oh no,
Scott's got a Lonely Oak. I'm curious, what's a Lonely Oak?
Lonely Oak Distillery.
Lonely Oak. Yeah, Erling Island. We
were talking about the vodka.
Yeah,
we were talking about the peach.
North 40 and the North 40 peach. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's
where you had the peach vodka with lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Back to other than that.
So season 4.
Yeah. So
what about it?
Well, Brett talked about the lighting a little bit. I think we need to because we have
all
the black drapes.
It needs a little help. Yeah.
Yeah. We need some better lighting in here, and I think that we'll look at that in season 4. He was like, when you guys were doing stuff back in season 1, when you were doing topics, and you were basically you had blended the
pairing the drink to the topic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I did, man.
I know.
With I come here every once in a blue moon.
Beautiful. I'd like to do that. I'd like to season 4. I'd like to get back to that,
yeah,
where we pair the drink to the talk and
that's
actually
where you started. Get back to your roots.
Yeah, get back to talking about. We definitely do the broad spectrum of topics here. But I think we need to get more into the issues because we're coming up on a lot of stuff, like the 5G stuff. Holy cow!
I think you need to go narrower and deeper.
Yes.
There's a
we did broad spectrum. Yeah.
There's a tendency to get what I call an inch deep and a mile wide.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go 6 inches and all the way down.
Yeah, like do a mini series on 5G, and we do one episode on self-driving capabilities. We do one episode on the AI.
Sure.
What does 5G mean for AI? And we do one episode on what does 5G mean for the cable companies.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all individual episodes that we could do in a mini series.
I could, because I'm selfish and only care about me, is I could come on and you could do an entire episode on a specific area of cybersecurity. If you want to talk about nation state attacks, if you want to talk about advanced persistent
quantum
threats,
computing
from an IT perspective, quantum computing,
128-bit encryption goes out the window.
Nightmare.
1.21 gigawatt
encryption. Quantum computing throws that out the window.
So I
gigawatts?
I teach. You know what I
thing.
teach now? So I'm teaching now.
Yes, and you're going for your doctorate also, right?
Am.
Bravo.
Yeah, at the same time, and
That's
I'm taking
golf
over the
clap
Cub
right there.
Scout pack.
You know, could you?
Yes,
All at the same time.
bravo to you on that.
I'm not the guy, but I know a guy. I know a guy who won the Portland Soapbox Race Derby.
But I don't want a Facebook page on it. I want to actually have its own Instagram
I won
profile.
first place in Pinewood Derby, so if you need any pointers, I got you.
Listen, I could teach a semester-long class on Pinewood Derby dynamics. Okay,
Perfect.
You gotta tilt your wheels. You got
lead weights.
Gotta grease them. You gotta grease your wheels.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You gotta graphite your wheels. Don't grease them. Graphite them.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I want to get more back to the basics in season 4. And
I want more lighting. I want better lighting. This is literally a Coca-Cola classic. Like, they don't see this on the show. It's a Coca-Cola classic thing that you would hang.
You can tilt it up, yeah, right?
I could, but it's a Coca-Cola classic light that should be above a bar table, like
pool table.
In a very small town.
That's where
you would see this
and I put the most halogenic light bulbs in it, so they're so bright. They're so bright. But
it's pretty brilliant.
But but everyone's face can be seen and the table can be seen, and that's really what we need.
Yeah.
But we need better directional lighting.
Yeah.
And I would love to have somebody sitting either right next to us that better monitors the system. I think multiple cameras is in the system that I have now. I can hook up multiple cameras in it, and so it's kind of like a Joe Rogan kind of podcast where I can shoot this side of the table and then I can shoot this side of the table, and it's more interactive. You know, right now, literally the only time I zoomed in was when we had some bottles sitting up front here. So if we could have somebody that would do that for us, that we could feed in beer.
Here's what we're looking for.
We need a university student that's 21 that wants to come on the show that wants to learn broadcasting.
Some of that
and
you can
we'll
do
give him credit.
but it's hard.
Yeah.
But here's post production. You want to talk about post production?
Well, we
don't have any post production. We are 100.
Yeah,
we take that out.
When I come on the show and I cuss too much, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Only
Dang it, Mike.
Because I've been that guy.
Yeah.
That is the only edit that is on this show.
We need a button
is
for
the
Mike.
add-in of the end and then the cussing taken out.
Yeah.
And so, like, we try to be 100% true and live and honest. We don't try. It is. That's what this show's all about. Is just being live all the time. And
so if somebody wants to commit to at least 18 episodes a year for free, you can.
Well, not for free. I mean, they get beer and they
get a glass,
hang out. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of university students that go, "Can you say that this is credit towards like?" Yeah, we're like, okay,
we'll sign whatever paper you got, bro.
Exactly, we'll sign that. Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
We got a pre-doctorate here. I mean, he can sign off on
Oh
something.
man, yeah,
yeah. 18 hours of community service.
Yeah. Other than that, I think like better social media engagement.
SEO.
That's
what
tough.
I was.
That is time intensive, really.
The reality is that SEO is all about content production. So if you want better search engine optimization, that any SEO company, you can pay them $1 or $100 or $1,000 or $1 million, and they're all going to tell you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You need to produce more content.
Yeah,
and we produce a lot.
Well,
especially our first year.
Well, when they say more content, you need to post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram every single day, multiple times a day.
But then they have
a
a thing that does that for you. You know.
Yeah, you can,
and then you can hire a person to do that thing for you.
Yeah.
We don't want to go that route.
I don't know that you're going to hire anybody, but if you can,
no.
if you can
we
wing
have
it,
no guys. There is no money for the show. There is $0 for the show.
Yeah.
And thank you to Casual Pint for supplying beer for us. Thank you to
another one is being better with my Untapped. The amount of beer that we drank in here.
I was good in February, and that was it.
Yeah, been terrible with Untapped.
I don't know what you mean.
So you know the app Untapped?
Oh no! I mean, yes, I know what it is, but
yeah.
I knew better than to try.
I would be way better off on Untapped.
Hey Brian, can I get the last beer?
Yeah.
Isn't there one more beer in there?
I mean, there's.
As in growler beer. I think there's one more growler that we just haven't touched yet.
Yep.
I knew
you mean the heaviest one?
I knew it was in there somewhere.
I'll let you, since I'm full over here.
You're full over there.
You got the.
Ooh, the Trollus Buster.
What is it?
Trollus Buster.
I don't know what that means.
So this is from the Trollus Buster. Actually, comes from Crooked Stave.
So this is probably the most fantastic beer I've had. Right up next to Cross Strain. The Trollus Buster from Crooked Stave is amazing.
Okay. Hey, can I propose something?
Yeah.
Season 4 episode ideas. Right? I know that you guys get them all the time from a bunch of different people.
We also promote breweries here in town or outside of out of town for free.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So topic ideas, beer, alcohol ideas. I mean, I have a plethora of
mead in your house.
I have a couple
that was
bottles
just
of
because
mead.
of a wedding.
I have a couple of bottles of mead remaining. But no, I'm talking about Drink Talk episode title names, drink names. I mean, I know that you guys can probably get you guys can get topics from all over the board, but
we could roll the dice and have the next show.
I mean, you guys get those things all the time, but I mean, have there been some that have kind of that have come through that you're
That
like,
stuff, and a lot of people don't know what happened after that show. And I tell a story. If you know me, you've heard the story. But after the show got done, Al Ziri takes absinthe,
oh boy,
throws it in a cup, lights it on fire, and then pours the mudslide over the absinthe. And I'm looking at Al Ziri, and
as one does.
I'm like, why didn't you do that for the show, man? That would have been amazing.
And he was like,
And
too
he goes,
dangerous.
yeah, too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
He was generally concerned
Sure.
about flamage, and he was like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to burn house down.
That's
and
wise.
It was on camera, and I reached down. It's sitting there next to the bar.
Yeah.
I reached down, I grabbed the fire extinguisher. I'm like, I got you, man. My fire extinguisher is right over there.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on, man.
I would have totally had him, and that was back when we were at the bar. But yeah,
Sure.
I would have totally had him, and I'm just like, oh man,
I've got a
that would have
million.
been good.
I've got a million ideas that I personally could sit here and talk about for at least an hour, right? But
Yeah.
that's me. I'm a teacher by nature, and I work in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
I got stuff
Maybe
to talk about.
maybe we should have a meeting. with,
Nobody wants to hear that stuff.
pad and
right?
paper.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's topics.
Actually, I
galore.
want to hear that
Do you
kind of
guys-
sort of stuff.
Do you guys have like stuff on hand that you're thinking like, hey man, we should do this? We should
You know,
do that?
we kind of
Or
follow the
other people?
news too, like following the
Yeah, well,
general topics of what's happening
World War
today.
III is next week, right,
Yeah.
Brian? It's gotta be.
It
It's
is.
gotta be.
It is. It's stop loss for those that
Iran.
are in.
I mean,
World War
we're going
III?
to start a fight with them. We're
Subreddit-
already starting that.
Subreddit r/teenagers. If you haven't been there in the last week, you should totally go because all the teenagers like we're so screwed
Yeah.
because we're all getting drafted and we're going to World War III.
Well, and all the veterans are like,
Something to watch after this.
where do we sign up? You know.
Yeah.
So, no. So as far as like stuff coming down the pipeline, what we tried to focus on the last 2 years was like getting out, and I think we did a good job of going on location and getting
Sure,
out.
yeah.
And topics, I would do it here and just focus on the topic. Focus on
Well, yeah, no,
pairing
because
a
it's
drink.
easy to come here because everything's all set up and it's
Absolutely.
just makes sense to do it in the studio. And I'm actually centrally located in Omaha.
Hey Matt, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
You're at the very end of the show.
Way to pipe up right
Yeah.
at the end of the show, and
No.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I hope you have a drink in hand.
Hey Matt, if there was a topic that you would be willing to sit and listen to for an hour of a group of guys sitting at a table,
An hour is pretty. That's
Yeah, it's pretty-
conservative.
We're
Pretty
going
good.
on 2 hours and 40 minutes right now.
an hour or two with a drink in hand, as we try to solve the world's problems, what topic might that be?
Alligators.
Now, of course, I want to go cybersecurity, but that's just me.
Oh, so Murmur is he's saying we should go to Juke's Aleworks.
Jukes.
But
Well, hold on.
in the basement.
You just mentioned Jewel,
Yeah.
but then Jukes. Jewel would be a good episode as
That
well.
would,
Jewel
yeah.
is an amazing venue that does awesome music.
Not where I was going. I
Me
was going to
either,
say that we
but
should talk about the
Jukes-
kids that jewel too much.
Same here.
Yeah.
The
Him
vaping.
and Yamaha.
Yeah,
way.
vaping and jeweling. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
no,
man.
Jewel's a place here in town.
I'm convinced that TikTok is the downfall of Western society.
It is.
We
It
should totally
absolutely
cover that.
100% is.
Many
Yeah.
people are in the line with
Apps that are taking the world down.
Yeah, TikTok, top of the
Write
list.
that. Let me write
Top
that
of the
down.
list, man.
that. No, I think we should do. I think Murmur is right. We need to go to Juke Aleworks because they have the space to do that. Also, they have Alice in the basement. So,
Oh yeah,
and we could do a twofold episode there. That's we could do a 2-part right there.
yeah.
We could do
Yeah.
one upstairs and one down. Well, they have 3
Apps
levels
that are
really.
taking all down.
They have all the pool tables upstairs. They have the main floor, and they have the basement with Alice.
We'd have to get situated because I'd only want to do the setup once. I don't want to
Yeah.
do it.
That's-
Well, or we could have a really long night and do a 2-part.
I don't want to go
Very-
down.
we've
Yeah.
done 2 parts before.
I would not want to.
We have on like maybe
well,
3 episodes.
on the drink thing, right? On the
Yeah.
craft brewery taxation. Oh sure,
Yeah.
get political, bro. That's
Yeah.
your
That's your
arena.
money.
That's your arena. Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
No, I can probably list maybe 1 episode per season that we've gotten political,
No.
and for good reason. That's by design.
Yeah.
for sure. So,
Well,
but
we're not trying to shoot people away from the show.
For
That's
sure.
what we're trying to do is maintain our listeners.
also next year I'm going to. There's some things that I invested in for Kickstarter that will be coming for our season 4.
We're gonna do
That'll
product reviews.
Yeah,
Right on.
for sure. Yep.
box openings.
There's a couple things that I
like it. I'm down.
I do like that. That's great, Brian. Nice job.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Marcus Powers and see if I can
Now
get the
that I
zipline
have
guy
this on
over
my
here.
mind, and this is a good transition point right here. New Year's resolutions. Come on, boys. Any New Year's resolutions?
My New Year's resolution was to not make resolutions, and I totally succeeded.
check done. Yeah.
Mine was to lose some weight, and I've already lost 10 pounds.
That's
And
everybody's-
I'm on day 5, right?
Well, and that's good on you, but that's like everybody's New Year's resolution.
It was.
right?
I transitioned to doing new things and just kind of when I'm on the road working out and just what I put in my body. Like, do you need that bag of chips? Do you?
I considered the weight loss thing, and then I had a Christmas party last night, and I had 14 people in my home, and each person brought enough food for 14 people. So
And you should have invited Brian and I.
you
then.
know, we were well fed, to say the very
Fair
least.
enough.
It was ridiculous.
Sounds
but
great.
that was a good time.
Should have been there.
Well, it was my if we're being candid and honest.
You're
with
the
us.
one that he knows who he is. He went to go work for this toast company or something like that, and really good guy. I wish he would have stuck around.
Toast is a big company here in Omaha. They're growing like crazy.
And
Good for them.
More power to him. I hope he does well for
Sure.
what he's doing. But we're gonna definitely miss him for sure. He was definitely becoming a good asset to our company.
So, anything else for season 4, Britt? Producer,
I definitely like
Kickstarters.
the on location stuff. Like the studio's great and building that up and all that sort of stuff. And when we build that up with the lighting and all that stuff, I'm going to be able to buy lighting that goes on the road with us.
Well, when you fix the lighting, like the set has.
I'm going to do a studio lighting.
Well, the
and
deal is your set has evolved over 3 seasons now, right?
We're sitting. Instead of standing.
We
which
started
is great.
over here at the bar, standing up. I point
Yeah.
to the thing that no one can see.
We are literally in
that
the
thing
same
over there.
room, but it was the bar,
Yeah.
literally the bar in the basement.
We were
over there.
standing at the bar. Now you guys are here. at
Well,
this
then
table.
it was this table was diagonal in this room.
There's a pool
and
table.
It was my pool table.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was
now-
just like, I took the bumpers and I'm like, okay, it sounds good. Well,
now look at you, right? Like
yeah.
grown ups.
Now we have a screen and we have artwork.
But the
and
thing is
fun- funness.
if you continue that trend, right? That curve, that means that season 4 that this space again into something better and greater. Lighting will take it a long way. The sound is pretty darn good. If you can get somebody to help out a little bit with pre and post production stuff or during production stuff,
if I could just have a guy
just a person
that chimes in every once in a while, and that's fine.
My point is this, though.
What
like,
happened to Sam? I know.
He's
my point
Sam's
is
a great guy, but like he's on the road. Like he does professional audio for
Sure.
like big giant name concerts and all that stuff. So like
my
it was a pleasure just to have him on the show.
my point is this, though. Like, it's coming a long way. I think it'll continue to get better here on your set.
Yeah, we'll get better
You
microphones.
guys have both said that you both really enjoy your on location stuff.
Yeah.
But
do.
when you improve your set, you can bring those locations here.
Exactly.
Right, you can
People
take
want to come to this
The,
house.
the,
and
the guy from Sioux Falls will come
house.
here.
Let me
to this
recreate that studio.
studio.
Come to
Yeah,
the studio
the studio that we rented
in the basement of my house.
with that glass
That
windows.
happens
Is
to
this a
be-
write-off? Can I do that?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like when the studio gets better and better and better, those on location things can
Just
makes
come
it
here.
easier to come here.
Guys, have you heard about this talk? The podcast? You need to go. You need to
Yeah,
go there.
he has really comfortable chairs. Yeah. So
They do have comfortable chairs. I'm actually fancying. I have a tree in my backyard. I've got to cut it down. It's got to go. But I'm also imagining what I could do in that backspace of my backyard
Yeah.
and create a pathway and have a secondary room
Outside.
outside of my
Gazebo.
house, and then it's just that is my studio out there.
I think
behind the house.
that the 3 of us. I'm inviting myself to the show. Okay, ready? We should do a road
You know
trip.
how much you've been a part of this show?
We should-
I
we
mean,
should- we
per,
should-
per capita.
totally road trip. Hit Sioux Falls. Grab some honey mead.
Yep.
Right. Grab some
Big T's meats.
yeah, that. And stop in Rapid City.
Yeah.
Visit the
Firehouse
the winery
Brewery.
/brewery. And then we go to Judith Gap, Montana, which is where my wife is from.
Roast
I'll
a
bring
pig,
my snowboard.
roast a cow, and
And we hit Bar 100 in Judith Gap, Montana, a town of 9-horse town in the center of Montana. And it would be fantastic.
there are two things.
I've got it written down. It's a new thing now.
There are two things from what you have said in conversation.
What is meat all together?
is that a meat that I'm tasting?
Here's
It's very meaty.
Here's a literal half of a cow, and then over here in the corner we have the beer chilling.
What's that aroma? Is that sheep?
Yeah.
No, it's beef.
Yeah, it's beef.
Good guess, though.
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
The
close.
sheep
You were
were
close.
the sheep were outside the cooler.
Yeah.
Oh no,
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
This is not a milk stout. This is a goat's milk stout.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of this? The Trellis Buster.
It's very good. I am enjoying it.
It is fantastic.
Oh, Murmur. Yes. If we go to Montana, we will let you know.
We'll definitely be hitting up Big Sky. We'll be hitting up Timber,
all the
Big
things,
Timber,
man.
Montana. Yeah, like there's a lot of things of Montana that we all at this table are sitting at that
my-
love.
So, quick story. My brother-in-law, who runs the ranch now in Montana, says to me one time, I was asking him, I was trying to learn things, and I was like, what do you have in all your fields? He says, well, we have winter wheat here, we have barley there, we have, alfalfa there, and this and that, whatever, right?
Alfalfa.
I don't know what the hell we're. And he goes, and I said, oh, really? So how much of that do you harvest, and what do you do with it? How much do you sell, and what do you feed to your cattle, whatever? I'm learning things. I was just soaking it all in.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, the barley. There's no really good use for the barley. You can't sell it, and
You're like, are you kidding me?
good for the cows. It's too much. I don't know. It's too high in carbs or something like that.
And cows got real fat. And you're like, what? No, if cows fat?
He's
Oh,
like,
sounds good.
no. So they count fat, carbs, and protein for what they feed their cattle, and the barley doesn't work well for
Sure.
their mixture.
All right. It's got it all
And
figured out.
it's a rotation crop, so they only grow the barley because it pulls other nutrients out of the soil that other than what the other things pull.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's just a rotation crop. We just do it because we have to, and
And it's cheap.
it's not really worth anything, and you can't really sell it. And I'm like, wait, hold up a minute.
You
Like,
could sell that.
You could make a lot of beer
I know
with that.
some people
That need that barley.
can do some stuff with some good barley. He's like, well, it's not good barley. And I was like, well, what if you grow good barley?
Probably what he said.
Other than Moose Drool beer, I don't know much that comes out of Craft Brewing Montana.
You know what?
Oh,
Belt-
no, there's a lot of different beers that come out of
Oh
Montana.
yeah, Belt Brewery is really good. They're fantastic. Yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff. What's the one? Smoke. I can't think of it right now.
Jumper, Smoke Jumper.
Nope.
Smoke Mountain.
Which that's another topic.
Smoke Stream.
Wait for it.
The
It'll come to me.
Australia. What's going on the fires
Oh,
in
man.
Australia? What's going on? That's
Yeah,
another topic.
that's a current event we're talking
And a
about.
big, you want to bring current events into this situation that we're doing, which none of what we were talking about was current events because it was all past episodes. Current event going on right now in Australia. Let's pray for those guys. It's on fire.
If you've seen those
On
pictures,
fire.
yeah, there's no filter on pictures, and they're posting like orange pictures because there's like the
Australia's on fire.
yeah, it's crazy.
And you're like, you look at Australia,
Cold Smoke. Sorry, Cold Smoke.
Cold
is
Smoke
the-
Brewery.
Yeah,
out of Montana?
is a Kettle House Brewing Company out of Missoula. Yeah.
The-
Cold Smoke.
but
Cold Smoke is
not only the beers that
fantastic.
they've got at Montana, they've also got whiskeys. They've got
yeah.
they got other things that come out of Montana that are great too as well.
All right, I think we need to
Wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
wrap this one
We're
up
rambling
because
at this
we're at about 3
we
hours.
are way outside of.
Are we over 3 hours?
2 hours and 54 minutes.
Your
We are-
guy knew that it was Kettle House Brewing.
Look at you, Merwin.
Nailed it.
Yes.
nailed it.
I'm embarrassed,
Yeah.
but well done, sir.
Yep. Well, I think we've done.
We've gone for 3 hours.
We went. Mike Welna came on the show
Yeah.
and
rambled plenty.
and talked too much,
Yeah, that's
just like every other episode.
No. You started quiet, but you lived up to the
Just
expectation
I was
of
letting you guys run it, man.
just enough.
exactly.
No, that's going to be our season 4.
Ooh. Let's try this.
Yeah.
Episode 1. Let's try this.
Yeah. How about this?
How did we miss that?
Well, we've already done that.
I know,
Been there,
yeah.
done that. Got the T-shirt. So this beard is taken.
That beard. Oh wait, yeah. You want to show it off? You showed off. It's all right.
I don't know.
Your wife bought it
Can
for
they
you.
see
She
it?
wants
Can
you
they
to
see
show
it?
it off,
Yeah.
right?
Can they see it even?
Is that the S?
Here, I can zoom in.
The S on the chest there.
It is.
There's a sorry, this beard is taken.
Says my wife.
My wife.
My wife.
The majestic beard there. But no, we from the bottom of our hearts, and the bottom of our glasses, we actually thank you for joining us on this episode and all the other episodes, season 3
Drink
and
Talks
before.
97?
So here's the thing,
Yeah.
yeah. So we ended this on 97. So that means next season we will hit 100 episodes.
Ah, just
In season 4.
2 episodes in, we will hit
2 or
that.
3, yeah. 2
You
or
better
3.
plan ahead for that, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, that's
We'll
gotta be a
have
big
2
one.
episodes, and then the third is
That's got to be a big one.
100.
Yeah, but you got to have something in mind.
It'll be
for
February. It'll be
episode
love.
100,
It'll definitely be February when we hit the 100 marker.
Yeah, that'll be.
So.
Yeah, we'll have to have a big
What
one.
do you do?
Yeah. Well,
What do you do?
I have some ideas for some drinkware.
Attaboy.
Yeah. But yeah, I am very excited for season 4 on what that's going to
Looking
bring.
for the outcome.
So, and if you have any ideas, if you have any comments and all that, please leave them in the comments
Yeah,
of the
tell us
video.
what we can do better. I want to know what we want to do better.
Yeah.
You know.
And we will go through the comments of this video, all 3 hours of this video, and
For
we'll
our
go back
season 3 ender.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Crushed it.
Yep, nailed it. But yeah, thank you for joining us. My name's Brian,
I'm Britt.
And I'm Mike.
and this has been the season recap of season 3 of Drink Talk.
It's been great.
Join us next
That's
season.
awesome.